4A State Championship baseball continues here in our nightcap. 3 games are in the books here on a Tuesday. And, of course, 1 game remaining here. We had 4 games yesterday, 4 games today, 4 more games tomorrow. Maybe games Thursday. We'll have to wait and see. And then championship best-of-3 series will start Friday night at 7. Game 2 scheduled for 11 o'clock on Saturday. And then Game 3, if necessary, will be 1:30 approximately Saturday afternoon. 2 teams have already exited the state playoffs. Devin Dixon, Stockton Jukes. Paul Ratliff will join us momentarily, getting the last couple pregame comments in as he's making his way back to the press box. It's the Flyers and the Thunder, Stockton. But earlier today, you look at our Nets on Fire recaps, building champions on and off the court. And you can check out the website and check out all the summer training packages, netsonfire.org. We had a couple teams, take each other out. And the defending champs, one of them gone, sent packing.
Yeah, 2 times in a row, Crimson's taken down Snow Canyon the last couple of years in the state championship game, and they were blanked by Park City today. Really, really good pitching from Park City in that elimination game. Crimson, I think, kind of got caught by surprise by that team and expected their offense to really show up today, and it just seems like they left it on the bus.
Yeah, had Barbin on the bump. He only gave up 2 runs, 1 earned, but they lose 2-0. Just 5 hits. Park City only had 3 hits, but it was not enough. So unfortunately for Coach Abbott, they are out. Also, Ridgeline knocked out by Bear River. The bats were bopping today for the Bear River Bears.
Insane game. It was a 7-run win for Bear River, 15-8 final score. Ridgeline made it interesting kind of in the middle of that game, but in the 3rd, 4th, and 6th innings, Bear River put up 4 runs apiece. If you give up 12 runs across 3 separate innings, you have a very steep hill to climb, and Ridgeline was just not ready to climb it today.
And then the game that just finished up about 30 minutes ago, that one went to the Snow Canyon Warriors. The number 2 seed beat the number 3 seed Timpanogos by a final score of 3-0, and a great pitching performance by Andrew Lyon, the Snow Canyon starter. Scoreless baseball, 104 pitches, scattered 4 hits. Tank Kelly came on, got the last 2 outs of that game, and the Warriors win 3-0, and they are the first team to get to Wednesday without a loss.
Yeah, it's really been an impressive run from Snow Canyon. You can tell they've been stinging from the last couple of years. They wanted to come up here and right this ship. So they're going to be in a prime position, but this team that we're about to watch in the Dixie Flyers is probably going to be their toughest test if they do end up meeting them down the road. So I'm sure they're going to be sticking around here to watch this game. But, yeah, great game from Rue. Just absolutely blitzed it on the mound today. Got upset that he got pulled out with 2 outs left in the game, but I think that was the right move. And then you have Tate come in and just shut down that game. It was a really, really good game for Snow Canyon. They had a couple really nice defensive highlights as well that kind of helped Rue get through those innings. And, that was an entertaining ball game. Snow Canyon's a really good ball team.
Yeah, and that's a team in Timpanogos that swings at .333 as a team, but only 4 hits and no runs. And when you get a pitching performance like that, it's tough to beat a good team. You look at Desert Hills and Dixie. This is the 1 seed, 4 seed matchup. Desert Hills has a ton of juniors. They're really young. Dixie has a ton of seniors. They're very experienced. And state championships have been frequent for these schools. You go back to 2019, Desert Hills won a state championship with Drew Thorpe and company. 2018, actually in 2019, they beat Dixie to win that state title. 2018, the year before that, it was Dixie and Cooper Vest that won a state championship. So all within 5 years, both these teams have got 4A state titles under their belt. Of course, Kevin Cave was not the skipper of that team. That was Chris Allred back then, but Danny Ibsen was part of the last 2 titles. He's got 2 titles under his belt as skipper of the Dixie Flyers in his 17th season. You look at the regular season meeting between these 2 teams, Dixie wins 9-0, but then Desert Hills answered and wins 6-2. So they split the head-to-head series, but they haven't played since March 12th and March 13th. So it has been 2 full months since we've seen these 2 teams play.
It's going to be interesting. You really like having those, regional and then geographical matchups when you come to a neutral site tournament like this. We saw it with Ridgeline Bear River. Those 2 teams were kind of playing chess with each other for a little bit before Bear River just exploded on offense. So I think we're going to get a little bit more of that tonight. Obviously, Dixie and Desert Hills both from down in that southern Utah area.
When Dixie got 9-0, it was Braxton Yates that threw the ball and shut them out. And then the second game when they played, the one that Desert Hills won, It was not Yates. That should be noted. It was Jake Andres. And we will see Jake Andres. He will be the starting pitcher, so he's looking for a little bounce back against the Thunder, even though that was 2 months ago, and a lot has changed since then. Andrew Wilson actually was the winning pitcher. He came in relief, and it was I think it was when it's 2-2, and he had 5 strikeouts, got the win. So we'll see. Every game writes its own script. I don't know how much we can make of these 2 games when they split, and they were 2 months ago, as we bring in Paul Ratliff joining us now here in our pregame festivities built by Bucks Ace Hardware. Paulie, Dixie, obviously the 1 seed, terrific this year. They have only lost 3 games all year. They are 25-3. Desert Hills comes in 20-8. Experience versus a young team, but don't tell Desert Hills that. They feel like they belong in this tournament.
Yeah, Cooper Clough, the lone senior on the Desert Hills Thunder, but he's the dynamic leader for them. All these young pups rally around him. He's kind of their guy of the older class, and then you look at the other side with Dixie. I mean, it's a senior-laden lineup with tons of guys with tons of experience, like you talked about, but it's one-game scenario. Winner take all type scenario here, as both teams trying to get to 2-0, and this is a spot that Desert Hills, obviously the underdog in this game, but still a very, very dangerous team, even with their youth.
Take a look at the pitching matchup a little bit more in depth. Let's go inside the numbers here in our Bucks Ace Hardware pregame show. Jake Andres, 3.00 ERA, 6 wins, 2 losses, 9 appearances this year. Andres, 42 innings. He's given up 21 walks to 46 strikeouts, and opponents are hitting just 197 off of Jake Andres. You look on the other side, Hoyt Atkin, he's just a sophomore. Got some starts last year as a freshman, but not in the state tournament against this Dixie Flyer team. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he is, especially early on, if he can slam the door. This is a very daunting top of the order with Ridge Erickson, Boston Vest, and Braxton Yates right out of the gate. Atkin, 4.32 ERA, 4-1 record, and 10 appearances. Atkin is 35 innings and 2/3 of work. He's walked 24, and he struck out 38. Now, the good news is if he gets any kind of trouble, he's probably going to have Crew Christian's kind of the middle reliever, and we saw him brilliant yesterday. Good to see his arm back and healthy.
Yeah, he only had to come in for a small stint yesterday, but was absolutely dominant, just total shutdown acumen from Crew Christensen. And I think you're right. If they fall into trouble here, I could see them calling upon his services.
All right, by the way, opponents hitting just 259 off of Hoyt Atkin. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. Paul, what do you see?
I see for the Dixie, understand the situation. This is a win and have a desirable outcome, be 2-0 heading into potentially Friday. Leadership experience, there's a core of seniors here. Of course, we mentioned a bunch of them. And find gaps. This is a time that you just want to get hits in the outfield. You want to just power that ball out of the infield. Good things happen when you get the ball in the green grass. And that's the keys for Dixie today, Team Diotto.
Desert Hills had to come back. They were down 5-0 yesterday. And they shook off the nerves. But I'd like to see against the number 1 team in the bracket, you got to have a hot start today. And you got to make mistakes, and you got to execute. Got to get key hits situationally, move a runner over, get that key sack fly. Everything matters against this Dixie Flyer team, the number 1 overall seed. Desert Hills, the 4 seed. Those are your Team Diotto sales keys to the game. Check out the great selection of used cars, trucks, SUVs, 488 East St. George Boulevard, or teamdautosales.com. Jake Andres, Flyers are the home team. Get his warm-up tosses in. Let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by House of Jump. Jump around, bounce off the walls. It's encouraged. 415 South Dixie Drive. We'll see Clough, Fillmore, Reed, Skeen, then Wilson batting 5th. Wall will play 3rd today. Wilson will catch. Skeen the DH. Crew Christensen will move over to first. Briggs Fillmore to short. Defensively, best catcher in the state, in my opinion. And we're going to see 3 really good catchers in this game. Wilson, Bo Wall, and then, of course, Ridge Erickson. We just saw a really good performance from Hayden Smith. 3 Region 9 catchers that are really good. And, of course, you've got a really good defense behind Jake Andres. First pitch, fought off out of play off the bat of Cooper Clough. And let's play some baseball on a Tuesday night.
Last time I saw Jake Andreas, it was at Pineview High School where he struck out 12 batters. It was absolutely dominant cruise to the win.
No question about it. This kid,
he's got it.
Is good. Been the number 2 behind the eights all year long. And the windup in the pitch. And the 1-1 pitch is outside. 2-1 the count now. Great night to be at the ballpark. Glad you're with us on radio on the Fan Sports Network. As that one's lifted into center field, and it's a fly out to start the game. Good start for Jake Andreas off the bat of Cooper Clough. He's got too much underneath that one, lifted it way too high.
An overpowered Clough here with the fastball, gets the pop, induces the pop up.
Defense,
as we see on the replay.
There you go. Defense behind Jake Andreas. Ridge Erickson, Mitch Emmett, catcher. Logan Levitt at third, Boston Vest at short, Max Orton is at second, Cooper Bartholomew at first, Yates, Franco, and Zeff out there from left to right, and Fillmore got plonked. Jake Andreas puts Fillmore aboard. He was the hero last night, wasn't he? Jace Fillmore.
Yeah, the 3-run shot. The only home run we saw all day yesterday, and came off the bat of Jace Fillmore, and what a shot and what a momentum surge, a shot in the arm that was for the Thunders. That really carried them to the victory, of course.
Stockton, did we see 3 home runs in that Bear River game? 2 for Ridgeline and 1 for Bear River?
Yeah, I think Bear River had that first one and then 2 in the same inning for Ridgeline.
Yeah, we saw 3 home runs. You and I were talking this morning on the Fan with CC back in studio on the morning drive that if there was an over-under on 1.5 home runs on the day, we took the over.
Yeah.
So 3 home runs have left the yard. And all of them, ironically, have been to left center field or straightaway left. Breaking ball doesn't quite get back over the inside part of the plate. Hagen Reed is the batter, the number 3 guy in the lineup. 8 home runs on the season. Slugging percentage off the charts, over 1,000. And lays off that outside pitch and ahead in the count now. 1 on, 1 out, top of the first inning. High school baseball on the radio, brought to you by the Boulevard. And the live stream presented by UCCU Credit Union. Big old bender, but he was sitting on it, but can't do anything with it and fights it into the dirt. Or into the turf, rather. We are on a turf field here. Turf's been here for a long time, but the press box, the clubhouse, the concessions, the bathrooms, all brand new.
Yeah.
Within the last year, they've done a really good job putting millions of dollars into the facility here at Salt Lake Community College. Big old bender, and this one's going to be a dirty bomb out there to center field. Jace Fillmore's going to take a look at second, put on the brakes, and stay at second. And Hagen Reed has a 1-out single.
And Hagen just popped it into the outfield, just out far enough to get to second base, or to first base, I'm sorry. And now 2 on, just 1 out for the Thunder. And here's the potential to get off to a hot start against a great starter in Jake Andreas.
And here is Skeen, who comes in bopping at 500 on the season with 26 RBIs, 9 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 home runs under his belt.
2 of those home runs came in the last 3 games. So
yeah, 2 of them came in the Super Regionals last week against Uinta. Had 1 last Friday and 1 last Saturday, just a few days ago.
Yeah,
he was not healthy for a good portion of the month of April. The undiagnosed injury was a right arm issue. He came off the mound one game and then hasn't pitched since. Didn't start batting until about 2 weeks ago, and he still has not played much. He's been mainly the DH. That throwing hand not good, but the bat is fine. And a foul tip into the glove of Ridge Erickson. And Ridge got chipped there a little bit. Home plate umpire, that's a veteran move. Going to buy Ridge just a second. Walk the ball out to the pitcher's mound.
Love when an umpire does that. I used to catch every now and then, primarily first base, but behind the plate, if you ever take one that's a little bit of a stinger, you can kind of tell if the umpire is going to give you a little bit of time or not. It's, like you said, a pro move.
1-2 the count now. Runners on first and second. And Fabulous Freddy's foul ball. Fuel it up, wash it down, and get big gas savings with every car wash, 20 cents off at the pump. That's good. Both St. George locations. Got one in Sandy, Lehigh up here. Got a bunch in Vegas. Fabulous Freddy's. Big old sweeping off-speed pitch, and it's fought off again by Harmon Skeen. We got a little battle going on.
Skeen, a guy can rev up the voltage, take one out of here. A lot of power to this guy.
1-2. Everybody resets. Fillmore modest lead. High 2-2.
And that flag in right center field just blowing ever so delicately now. So this is the time. We might see a couple shots in this game. I'm calling it now. Like Babe Ruth, calling my shot.
There's a lot of home run potential in this lineup for Dixie and for Desert Hills, but not this time. That one's going to be camped underneath, and Trace Franco has out number 2. And we will see Andrew Wilson step in from the left side. The number 5 hitter in this Thunder lineup as Skeen flies out to center. That's 2 flyouts to center. Clough and now Skeen. In between that, Fillmore got hit and Reed singled. So 2 on with 2 out in time for, if you're a Thunder fan, a little 2-out rally presented by Rally Stop. Stop by a Rally Stop, fuel up, grab some snacks.
Franco, one of the better defensive center fielders in Region 9 and in the state. We saw him making a great diving catch yesterday.
I feel like a broken record when I've talked about Wilson, but one of the things that's very impressive, obviously got a couple home runs, versatile, play first, third, catcher. He's their closer.
Yeah.
But
kind of a utility man.
He has an unbelievable eye. He is very plate disciplined. He never really see him swinging a bad pitch, and he leads the team in walks. It's something that, I don't know, as a baseball purist, that you got to appreciate about a guy that's hitting in the 5-hole.
It's a fine line to walk, too, because you don't want to ever get caught looking at something good like that. Very aggressive swing there, just a little bit late on it, and he got a piece of it, too. But, yeah, it's a fine line to walk. So when you can have that high OPS and keep the batting average pretty healthy, not get too heavy of a strikeout ratio, it's a good offensive player.
Wilson's only a junior, hitting .290 this year.
That's ripped.
And that one is going to be going back. Isaac Zepp, did he make the catch?
No.
He did not? Yes, he did.
Oh, he did.
I think he caught it, Paul.
Wow.
I think he dived.
He caught that.
We got to take another look. Take another look. This is a Mountain Land Supply defensive play of the game. Andrew Wilson gets robbed here. He puts a charge in. Vest in right field, going back, and he makes the over-the-head catch. Yes, sir.
Incredible view from our crew. Blake down there getting a great shot of it, and what a diving play.
Oh, and for Andrew Wilson, he just needed another 3 inches, and that is probably a base-clearing 2 RBI double. Instead, the Flyers will go to the home half of the first, try to take an early lead off Hoyt Atkin, who will be the starting pitcher for the Thunder. No score through half an inning here on the Fan Sports Network and KSLSports.com.
Transform your outdoor space with The Awning Company, St. George's top choice for awnings and outdoor enhancements. We specialize in making your backyard your favorite room of the house. With customizable options for every budget, from small projects to complete backyard remodels, we do it all. Experience superior craftsmanship, high-quality materials, and personalized service that sets us apart. For a limited time, enjoy 25% off in-stock kitchen components. Visit us at 735 South Bluff or go to theawningco.com.
This is Parker. This is Jason with Team D Auto Sales.
Supporting local sports for over 20 years.
That's 2 decades. Come to Team D Auto Sales at 488 East St. George Boulevard.
Or TeamDAutoSales.com.
Yeah!
Team D, Team D.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
And we're back, everybody. Let's go back to that Red Rock Real Estate replay, Paul. What a play by Zeth out there in right field.
Yeah, and Wilson put a charge into this ball, and it was inconceivable that this catch was going to be made. But as we see on the replay there, over the shoulder, beautiful grab, and it saves at least 1 run, potentially 2.
Yeah, no question about it. Stockton, that's going to be top play nominee right out of the gate here for Dixie's defense.
Absolutely, and as when you're in the outfield, especially on a new ball field, new outfield. I know that these teams obviously played here yesterday, but especially with the amount of wind you have out in right field, that's going to blow the ball towards center. That was a great adjustment and a fantastic catch.
Ridge 385, the catcher. Love it when your catcher's your leadoff guy. Committed to BYU to play for Coach Pratt after his prep career is over. Ridge is hoping that ends with a dog pile on Saturday afternoon. So are the Flyer faithful out there. The number 1 overall seed hasn't won a title like we told you in the pregame show since 2018.
A lot of Flyer blue in the crowd tonight. A lot of Flyer hats I've been seeing. A lot of support for these boys.
Of course, Dixie played Desert Hills for the title in 19. That is Desert Hills' last state championship. 6 years since the Flyers have won one. 5 years since the Thunder have won one. Whose time will it be this week?
That pitch, a good-looking pitch just on the outer side, or the outer half, as it seemed as if Andrew Lyon was getting that pitch tailing away a lot, but early on in this game, the away pitch is not hitting.
5-pitch walk for Ridge Erickson on a 3-1 count. Atkin. And we mentioned the strikeout to walk ratio, and worth mentioning again, Atkin, he's just a sophomore, guys. And for Hoyt, 4.32 ERA, 4 wins, 1 loss, 10 appearances, 1 save. But the walks 24, the strikeouts 38. That's a few too many walks probably for Kevin Cave's liking. But this kid has he's kind of a bulldog. He's not scared. He always wants the ball, and coach is giving it to him tonight. And there's a fastball. Get ahead in the count to Boston Vest, the ever dangerous Boston Vest.
And that's what you want as a coach. You want a starter that's out there that's yelling at you from the mound that he doesn't want to come out. You see that in the MLB all the time when a manager comes to get a pitcher. You want guys that want the ball. And this kid wants it.
Vest hitting .465 in his senior season. He's been a fixture in this Dixie Flyer white and blue his whole career. Just like his older brother Cooper, who's playing at BYU. But he's charting his own path. He's going to go to New Mexico State.
The Aggies.
Yes, the Aggies. The other Aggies.
Yeah.
A couple Dixie fans called for a balk on that last one. Looked like almost a in-between pickoff move and pitch.
Didn't get the call. Chopper to third.
This could be 2.
And there's the throw, and it gets away into the right field line. Hagen Reed's going to come up on fire, but too late. And it's going to be probably E5 on the throw there. It just, and that's a timing play. Second baseman's coming over. You got to lead him a little bit, and it got into right field, guys.
Yeah, I was thinking 2 there. I mean, it had the makings of it, but didn't come to fruition as the ball thrown a little off the bag. And not able to get the touch there, and
looked like he almost threw it down into the base area too, where the Dixie Flyer runner was sliding in. It's really easy to lose the ball there because you don't know if it's going to kick off the batter, if it's going to scoot under him, what it's going to do. So he was trying to wait for that ball to bounce, and it skipped under him.
And a pop-up, and it's going to get up and out of play. Wilson takes a look. Wall started at catcher yesterday. He's just third today. Wilson behind the plate. These guys have kind of swapped roles all year long, both because they're really good, but they're both utility guys. They're very versatile, which is a luxury for a skipper to have.
Yeah.
0-1 pitch coming from Hoyt Atkin high. You got the Fillmore brothers up the middle. Briggs, the freshman. Jace, a junior. You got Stokely Tate in left. You got Cooper Clough, the lone senior on this team in center. And Hagen Reed is in right. And that one's pulled to right field. Hagen Reed going to come up. No throw home. Doesn't have a chance. Going to hit his cutoff here. And the Flyers strike first. They got the 1-0 lead on a rip shot off the bat of Braxton Yates.
And Braxton Yates, obviously the pitcher of record yesterday. Didn't probably have his best day, but he takes it out on this baseball as he ropes it into right field. And the Dixie Flyers up 1-0 on the scoreboard.
First hit of the game, at least in my scorebook, and the scoreboard agrees with me. They did score that an error on that hot shot to third, and then the nice scoop, but the throw kind of down around the bag, and it got into right field. And here is Carter Turley, the DH for the Flyers. Probably be a starting catcher for 9 out of every 10 schools at 4A, 5A, or 6A in Utah, but he happens to be a catcher behind Ridge Erickson. And so he has been mainly the DH all season long.
Yeah. Waiting your turn. It's part of high school sports, of course.
Turley is just a junior,
Yeah.
375 batting average, and strike at the knees from Hoyt Atkin, and the count evens up 1-1. Turley looking in for a sign from the dugout. Danny Ibsen, head coach of the Flyers, took over after Jeff Messerly. He's had guys like Kent Garrett on his staff, Kurt Ivey, and now you got a younger generation. You got Jeremy Hill, who's head assistant coach. You got Dave Horlocker, the pitching coach. But you've brought on guys like Jagan Levitt, who wasn't just a year ago. He was still playing college baseball for Fate over at Utah Tech. You got Chunner Nyberg, who was a freshman that was helping the Flyers win a state championship, went on to pitch at BYU. So you've brought some young alumni back on.
Yeah.
Of course, Coach Ibsen's son, Braxton, was a player here. He's helping coach Fade at Utah Tech, one of the assistant coaches over there now. Did I miss any? I probably missed a coach or two. Sorry if I did, Flyers.
Good. Coach Fade always recruiting Region 9 real heavily. Puts the fence around St. George.
Well, I mean, he's not going to get everybody. I mean,
Not exactly.
you're not going to get the Luke Andersons or the Cooper Vest that go to BYU. You're not going to get the Landon Fries that are at Utah.
Or Isaac Lyon, Grand Canyon, or of that ilk. But
And a swing and a miss, and that's the first S&S Mechanical strikeout. Carter Turley goes down swinging. Off-speed pitch. Looked like a change-up there from Hoyt Atkin. Well, and Lyon, that one sting because his dad was alumni, and his dad's number is retired on the center field fence at Brucehurst Field.
yeah.
Most famous baseball player from St. George, Utah is clearly Bruce Hurst, but you do have only 3 numbers on that outfield fence. I think if you get to the bigs from, it's kind of the rule of thumb, you get your number on the wall there. They might have 4 now. Oh, the kid that played for Kansas City last year, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Help me out, Paulie. Do you remember?
There was the reliever for the Nats. He's been on a bunch of different teams. Ian Kinsler.
Yep, he's on the wall. Was he 28?
Yeah, he was 28.
Yeah, he's on the wall.
Man, Kinsler used to be so good when he was on the Rangers.
Yeah. I've actually got a Kinsler signed baseball.
You're
that a
thinking
buddy
Ian
got.
Kinsler. He's saying Brandon Kinsler.
Oh, Brandon.
Different player.
You're
I
right.
was going to say, Ian Kinsler being from Southern Utah, I'm surprised it's not talked about anymore.
Brandon is right. Drew a blank on his name. But he did give me a signed baseball when he was back for a Utah Tech alumni event.
Gotcha. 1-0 the count. I was just having this conversation a month or two ago, and I'm trying to think of the guy. Coach Fade actually went out and watched him play. I think it was his first or second big league appearance, and I can't think of his name. It'll come to me. By the way, Utah Tech is playing this afternoon. Get a Nets on Fire score update on that for you at some point. BYU playing Grand Canyon tonight on the Diamond 2 down in Provo. Let's see, Utah Tech losing to Utah 11-4 up in Salt Lake, just up the road here. That game is final. I saw Landon Fry here at the ballpark last night, and I was like, "You coming back?" And he's like, "No, we play Utah Tech at home tomorrow night, so I'll be at the park." By the way, BYU is leading 5-4 against Grand Canyon in the bottom of the 4th inning, so that's a tight one. That one's not final yet. There's still a lot of baseball left in that one. And again, you got some Region 9 alum, Cooper Vest from Dixie, Luke Anderson from Snow Canyon, Peyton Gubler from Desert Hills also has been on the bump for BYU this year. Saw Peyton at the ballpark last night. And there's a rope shot. That's going to get down into the alley in left center field. Another run will score. They're going to send another runner to home plate. It's Yates. He scores. It's 3-0 Dixie. They've got the early lead.
And Dixie making a statement here. They know they want to be 2-0 after tonight, and the bats are ringing early as they drive one deep to left center. And that brings in 2 runs for the Flyers.
2 RBI double by Logan Levitt. Boy, he put a good swing on that one.
He sure did, and like you were saying, Paulie, they want to win today. A team that wins on Monday is great. A team that wins on Tuesday is even better because they have to play one less game to win the state championship.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you could play 2 tomorrow just to get to Thursday.
Yep.
Surprised you didn't say it. You didn't say his nickname, Logan Levitt.
The Levitator
There it is.
rips it to the
There
wall.
it is. I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
He levitated that one.
Yeah.
He did.
Meeting on the mound's over. Hoyt Atkin, just Kevin Cave checking on him here. You know, it was 5-0 yesterday, and Coach Cave went and got Tolman, brought Crew Christensen in. And I got to believe that's probably the same pattern his crew can come back on. He only threw 26 pitches because of the weather delay last night. They didn't go back to him. So he is available today. Coach Kevin Cave wants Hoyt Atkin to go 4 or 5 if he can, as long as it's close. The winner of this game will play tomorrow night. They don't know who they'll play yet. The loser of this game will play Bear River tomorrow. And that'll be an elimination game. Desert Hills, of course, beat Bear River last night 9-7. You might hear us refer back. If you didn't hear the story, it was 5-0, then it was 5-5 for a long time, and then it was 8-5. Jace Fillmore hit a 3-run shot. Desert Hills had the lead. And then right after the 6th inning started, that was the bottom of the 5th, boom, lightning for an hour. Had to let the rain. I mean, it was coming down in sheets. The wind was switching
Sideways.
directions.
Yeah.
And
We saw those clouds coming in for a little bit, and they did not hold.
No.
We resumed play about 10:35 p.m. Game got over about 11:15 or so, guys. 11:20.
And the rain came fast. It's like someone poked the cloud with a little pin, and it just started flying out of the clouds as it was raining sideways.
Stockton,
winds.
what was the saying you said? If you don't like the weather in Utah, just wait 10 minutes?
Yep. You had to wait about 90 minutes last night. I remember I got back to Logan at like 11:30, and I turned on the game. It was the end of the 6th inning.
Yeah.
Late one.
Yep, late one. We got back to the house after a late night.
Yeah. It was, but a fun day. Fun day of baseball.
Yeah, and today's been fun as well.
Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit this morning. It does feel exhausting for a little bit, but at the end of the day, you get to watch baseball.
Yeah.
4 straight games for 3 straight days, and then you get to crown a champion at the end of it all. It's really fun.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, Region 9 teams are right in the middle of it all. We had one Region 11 team, Ridgeline, bow out. One Region 9 team, Crimson, the champs, they're out. Park City, Timpanogos, Bear River, Snow Canyon, all still alive, as well as these 2 teams. We're down to 6 that can win a state championship. This is not an elimination game. If you're tuning in for the first time to our coverage here tonight, 3-2, the count has worked full. Atkins going to throw the payoff pitch, and Trace Franco's going to fight it off and see another pitch here. Today's play-by-play brought to you by Intermountain Sports Performance. Get sports-specific training. 5 Utah locations. The summer of speed. There is no off-season. Intermountain Sports Performance. Sign up for a summer training schedule today with the closest location. Park City, Logan, St. George, a couple along the Wasatch Front, and Atkin loses Franco, so he walks. And now you got Mighty Max ready to go, second baseman for the Flyers. So Logan Levitt has opened this game up with the key hit in this inning.
Yeah.
A 2 RBI double.
The Levitator.
Yates had an RBI single prior to that. 3-0 Flyers, bottom of inning number 1. It's got to feel a little like deja vu for Kevin Cave and the Thunder.
Yeah.
Mentioned that they were down 5-0 after the early stages of that game yesterday. And one of our keys was hot start, right?
Yeah. Need the hot start.
And they nearly got it offensively. Wilson kind of got robbed by Isaac Zeff. And there's a shot off the bat of Mighty Max. And Orton Hobson skips it all the way to the wall. Another run will score. They're going to wave a second runner, and it's going to be a 2 RBI double by Max Orton, and it's 5-0 Flyers.
And here comes the offense for the Flyers. As yesterday, kind of an up-and-down performance all around, but today the offense, the defense, the pitching, all there as we see that one get all the way to the wall and clear the bases.
And
Bases clearing double.
if you're Kevin Cave, I mean, you got to be kind of wheels turning. Do you go get Atkin, or you let him try to work out of this trouble? He's still got a runner in scoring position and still just 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of Easton Hammond the other day, letting up 8 runs in that first inning, and he was pulled pretty quickly after that 8th run came in. But we'll see how long Kevin Cave waits tonight.
Yeah, that Dixie jumped all over him, and this is another hot start for the number 1 overall seed Flyers. They went on to win that game yesterday 10-6, by the way, over Ridgeline.
Yeah, and Paulie, they did. Easton Hammond had to come out after that 8th run. The argument was made that, maybe you pull him out earlier because Dixie did allow 6 eventually in that game. But this isn't Bear River. This is the number 1 seed Dixie Flyers. It's going to be a tougher battle today if you're going to try and come back against this team. So I think you try and cut the pain early here if you don't get this second out on this batter.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be short leash at this point.
Agree on all fronts.
Desert Hills has some pitching. They're just young. They got a lot of different guys that they could give the ball to. And there's a pop-up off the bat of Cooper Bartholomew, and that's going to be called by Briggs Fillmore, and he easily makes out number 2. That's a big out for Atkin right now.
Yeah, momentum changer, as that, like Stockton was saying, potentially could have been the last batter, but gets the pop out.
And here's the guy that made the web gym out in right field back in the top of the first inning, Isaac Zeff. Zeff is going to bat from the right side against the lefty Atkin. 5 runs on 3 hits. Hit a guy. No, he didn't hit a guy. He walked a guy. Excuse me. Franco walked. Only 1 walk given him. No, 1 K. He got the K on Turley. Remember, there was the air on the hot shot, too. And here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Big cut there from Isaac Zeff. Zepp, the right fielder, facing a 1-1 count now. 5-0 Flyers. And swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2.
Desert Hills, it'd be massive to get out of this inning here without any further damage inflicted. Already a 5 spot on the board.
Well, and you've already guaranteed you're batting around at least. Ridge is still in the on-deck circle, but the secondary one near the fence, closer to the dugout, not the out on the turf. Still, he does have his shin guards on there, so he's ready either way. Rip them off or put on his chest protector and his catcher's mitt and get back out there. You see that quite often. Catchers are probably the most prepared baseball players in the dugout, right?
Yeah. They're the guys that you go out with on a Friday night that need like 10 minutes to get ready because they're just always prepared.
Then pitcher's probably second, first baseman third.
Yeah.
Usually your outfielders are keeping things loose around the clubhouse.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he lost him. So back to Ridge Erickson, who will have to take those catchers.
I'm looking for
off.
Kevin Cave, and we're going to see him here as he's making his way out to the mound.
I just don't think he can wait any longer. I think you're right. I mean, this is a carbon copy only in the first instead of later in the game. And that's going to do it for Hoyt Atkin, the sophomore. They're going to go get him, and I'm guessing it's going to be Crew Christensen that will come in. You could go Jace Fillmore here. You could go Hagen Reed. Cooper Clough's thrown some this year. And we'll see what Coach Kevin Cave decides to do. And it looks like maybe somebody coming in from the bullpen area to throw here. So it won't be Christensen. And we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the pitching change. 5-0. How about those Flyers jumping out in front of the Thunder on KSL Sports and the Fan Sports Network?
Red Rock Real Estate has over 200 professional realtors in the St. George area that specialize in the local market. Whether you're buying your dream home, looking for an investment property, or want to sell your home for the highest amount, the Red Rock Real Estate team is here to assist you. Get started now by visiting redrockrealestate.com.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that could make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks Ace stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
Hey, it's Marco from Coral Canyon Golf Course inviting you to play the course with the best backdrop in southern Utah. Make sure you get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit coralcanyongolfcourse.com or call us at 435-688-1700 for your tee times.
Welcome back, everybody, here at the ballpark. Boston Schaefer is coming into pitch. He's only pitched 7 2/3 this season. Just a sophomore, underclassman, and he's got 8 Ks and 7 walks. Did I get the number wrong? What number is it, Stockton?
It's 18. We thought it was 16, but he hadn't turned his back yet.
Boston Schaefer is 18.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I got it. We did initially think that the 8 looked like a 6. You're right. But it is Schaefer in a pitch, and he'll have to face the top of the order like it never even happened. They batted around, and Ridge Erickson steps back in. And tough spot for the sophomore to come in, no question about it. Ridge got a free pass and scored. No official AB. Ridge had a clutch was a 3 RBI bases clearing hit yesterday.
Yeah.
That 10-run win. Well, 10-6 win. They put up 10 spot against Ridgeline.
I think that was his second at-bat of the first inning.
When he did that yesterday, I think you're right. Again, this looks like, Dixie's same start as yesterday for Desert Hills, identical start. And that one gets through between third and short, and another run is going to score as the throw comes into home a little bit late from Stokely Tate out in left field. And it is 6-0 Flyers. How about that RBI hit by Ridge Erickson?
Ridge Erickson just seeing the ball right now. 1 for 3 yesterday, but collects another hit for the state tournament. Pokes one to the outfield, and now 2 on, 2 out. And this rally stop 2-out rally is still on for the Flyers.
Yeah, big time. Big time right now. That's a tough spot for Schaefer to come in against one of the premier players in the entire state.
Yeah.
Boston Schaefer now with 2 outs. Needs a pop-up, needs a ground out. There's a good little bender for a called strike to Boston Vest, and it doesn't get easier after Ridge Erickson. Mentioned Vest batting average way north of 400. Hitting 465 to be exact. And there's a rope shot. This is going to be into the alleyway. It's going to get all the way to the wall, past Cooper Clough. 2 more runs will score. Here goes digging for third, and Boston Vest is going to have a 2 RBI triple.
And he motions to the dugout, and they are going wild over there in the Flyers dugout for Boston Vest as he ropes that triple to the wall, clears the bases, and now we blinked twice, and it's 8-0 on the scoreboard out in right center.
This is Dixie. It looked like for a minute Desert Hills 5-0 down, same as yesterday. It looks now like 8-0. Same start for the Flyers as yesterday. This is eerily crazy, guys.
Yeah, really is.
Flyers bats are alive and well right now.
This is that seniority against the younger team that is Desert Hills. You've got experienced batters coming in. You've seen a lot of patience in the early at-bats. Another really good check swing there, really good take on that outside edge. And they're making these sophomores throw them hittable pitches. And, sophomore to senior, it's going to be a slight advantage when it comes to head-to-head.
That was kind of the concern for fans of Region 9. It was, hey, can anybody match the pitching of Snow Canyon and Dixie, the 1 and 2 seed? And the answer so far is no. But still a lot of game left, but Desert Hills has got to get out of this bottom of the first inning.
Yeah.
They did have a chance to score back in the first. But Andreas has got some big-time run support. He's got some more. Make it 9-0 Flyers. RBI hit up the middle, and the hit parade just keeps coming. This one off the bat of Yates. And my scorebook is already sideways, guys.
Braxton Yates contributing to the Dixie Flyers output and your sideways scorebook.
Yeah, I'm just filling up the second inning here.
That's right.
When I catch up later. All in the first inning. This will be 13th batter to get a plate appearance in the bottom of the first inning.
This is the most prolific inning we've seen all of the state tournaments since we've gotten up here to SLCC.
Yep, most crooked number on the board at Cape Field. You're right. Nobody's put up a 9 spot. Flyers 8 was in the clubhouse leader, and they've just topped it today.
Yeah.
And there's a called strike for Schaefer.
And Schaefer just needing a pop out, ground out, any way to get out of this inning. I don't think it's going to come via the strikeout. These Flyers hitters are so dialed in right now, seeing everything.
I want to know what the Flyers had for lunch.
Yeah, they're seeing watermelons out
Wherever
there.
they went to a team lunch at, they better just keep that superstition going all week long.
That's right. They should have tipped whoever made the food because they are really socking the ball today.
And some RBI sandwiches or something. And that one's pulled, hit well, but well foul off the bat of Carter Turley.
Boy, if he waited half a second on that one, that would have been a hit-and-run homer.
Yeah.
The run rule would have been in place 4 innings before you can even put it into effect.
Right. It's 15 after 3 and 10 after 5, right?
Yep. In softball, it's 10 after 3, 8 after 5, but they bump it up for baseball.
Yep. And Desert Hills fans cringing at hearing that thought already, and Flyer fans smiling ear to ear. Turley fights another one off out of play. Count will stay 0-2. A Fabulous Freddy's foul ball.
But it's a realistic conversation that we should have because it is pacing that way. 9-0 in the first. And no real halt to this rally stop 2-out rally. It seems every member of this Flyers line is contributing.
Well, 3 of these runs and now 6 of these batters have come to the plate with 2 outs. They just can't stop.
Yeah. By far our longest rally stop 2-out rally. And there's another hit.
Another hit. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. Turley, they are going to be a play at third, and they got him. Wall, what a snag by Bo Wall. And he does get the out over there at third base. And that didn't look like it felt very good. Was that Yates over there?
I believe so.
Or is that Logan Levitt? I can't see. That is Yates.
Yates.
Yeah. It looked like he maybe got the tag on the nose.
Looked like he slid through the glove and over the bag, too, and that hurt. So he might have been safe if he stayed on the bag, but slid too late and got over it. Would have been out regardless.
So another hit, but they try to go from corner to corner, and a nice play out in the outfield to throw it to Wall, and a beautiful tag. But finally, the first inning is over. The first inning, we saw 9 runs on 7 hits and 1 error given up by the Thunder. And they've got a commanding 9-0 lead on the Wilkinson scoreboard. We'll be right back, see if the Thunder can start scratching out some runs and try to get back in this game.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Your child's sports journey starts with the City of St. George Recreation. From their first steps on the court or field to becoming a star player, our youth sports programs are here to develop talents and teamwork skills. So get out and play. Check out all the sports and get signed up at sgcityrec.org.
Remember when Down East was all scratch and dent furniture? Your go-to for dorm rooms, kids' rooms, and first homes? Well, the times have changed and Down East has changed with you. Down East is proud to offer our beautiful collection of high-quality furniture designed to elevate your space and make a statement. From stylish sofas and dining tables to cozy bedroom collections. If you're starting fresh or looking to upgrade, Down East has everything you need to create the home you'll love.
What a start for the Flyers. Dixie High with a exclamation point capping off the first inning. And Bo Wall will lead off the top of inning number 2 here for the Thunder. They get 2 on in the first, and man, Wilson almost beat Zeff, but he made a diving over-the-shoulder catch out deep and right. And so now the Thunder, it's got to be one pitch at a time, the mentality. You know, when you have a bad inning, you just have to take it one play at a time, one pitch at a time. You can't get all 9 runs back all at once. There we go. The sun got to autofocus the camera for everybody. Glad you're with us. Live stream on KSLSports.com, brought to you by UCCU. Love where you bank. And Wall is tagged out as he swung and missed. And that's a strikeout for Jake Andres. That is strikeout number 1 of the game. And Crew Christensen will be the batter. Then Briggs Fillmore, and then Stokely Tate. This is the 6, 7, 8, 9 part of the lineup for the Thunder.
Yeah, we talked about 7, 8, 9 hitting for Snow Canyon just the previous game. And in this situation they are in now, the Thunder down now 9-0. They're going to need some 7, 8, 9 production. They absolutely are going to need it tonight.
Time called. Andreas was starting the motion, stops. He looks a lot more relaxed and maybe a little looser, a little more uber focused now that he's got the run support.
Yeah.
What a feeling for Jake Andreas. He can come out there and be really aggressive, just hit his spots, play a little catch.
Yeah, I haven't done a game with Jake Andreas pitching since the Pineview game earlier on in the season, and they gave him 4 runs of run support. He threw 12 Ks and just cruised, and that could be what happens today.
Yeah, and it's a good hitting Pineview team that lost out in the Super Regionals last Saturday to Park City.
Some really talented hitters, and Andrew Shakespeare and Nash Schroeder and
Tyson Millen.
Yeah. Kind of a younger group, too, that'll be really good next year.
By the way, remember back in the first inning that went 45 minutes or so?
Yes.
I was talking about the Utah Tech player that I was trying to think of.
Sure.
Logan Porter. That's who I was trying to think of, the most recent Blazer to make it to the big leagues. Thank you, Danny, for reminding me. We got viewers all over.
I really like the pace that Andres is going at from the mound here. He's set and ready on the rubber by the time these batters are stepping into the box. The only thing is it's kind of hurting his spotting in that last at bat, but I don't think that's anything to sweat about here. He'll work that out.
He did lose Crew Christensen, so that's the first walk of the game. He did hit Fillmore in the first, but it didn't cost him a run, and now he's walked Crew Christensen with 1 out. Briggs Fillmore stepping in. First ball, and now a swing and a foul tip straight back into the netting here. It's 1-1 to Briggs. We got 2 of the Mighty Mites in Region 9, Fillmore and Orton. These are 2 of my favorite guys. One's a senior, though. One's a freshman. Both play big roles on their teams. Briggs just kind of cracking the lineup later in the season. They were kind of pinch hitting him here, using him as his defensive player, but now his bat is in the lineup. Kid has played a lot of high-level youth baseball, traveled around the country. Dad, Ryan, really good golfer. Briggs and Jace Fillmore, the 2 brothers, both on the golf team at D-Hills. I got to give you a golf reference once a broadcast, right, Paulie?
Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe a Tiger Woods. Oh, and he pulled the string on that, and Fillmore froze, and he goes down looking. It's an S&S mechanical strikeout for Jake Andres.
That's right, and Andreas is just cruising along, obviously giving ample run support here. So he's in a good spot, and he's working quickly and with precision.
Here is the number 9 hitter, Stokely Tate. Tate's a free swinger. Stokely, he comes in, he likes the first pitch swing a lot. We've seen that this season from him, and he does it right there, and he just missed it. Fouls it off. 0-1 the count. And that one down and away. Ball 1. Great shot there, Tate. Titan, older brother, graduated last year, played for the Thunder. And here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Couldn't find that one, as that one was darting across the zone. Probably started about chest high at the nose and neck area and then darted down and away. Sorry, we're getting a little glare through the...
Yeah, I can see out across the highway in center field. There's some things that are sticking up over that wall. The sun's catching them on the perfect spot right now, and it's really throwing off the camera lens up here.
Andres thought he got him there, but just maybe outside the K zone. 2-2 the count. 1 on, 2 outs here, top of the second. Swing and a miss, and how about 3 strikeouts in the inning, and then the 4 batters he faced as Stokely Tate goes down swinging. So we go to the home half of the second. All Flyers on your Wilkinson Salsa Lighting scoreboard, 9-0. Dixie has the lead over Desert Hills on the Fan Sports Network.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Hello? Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Back at the 4A state tournament. Stockton Jukes, Paul Ratliff with you. Devin Dixon taking a brief respite here. And we've got Logan Levitt stepping in. The Levitator obviously had a two RBI hit in his first at-bat. Good looking pitch there from Atkin. Low and away, kind of a spot that's tough for a hitter, Stockton.
Yeah, it's especially on that first pitch, you never want to swing at that slider moving away from you. If anything, it's going to be a grounder off the end of the bat.
That one fouled back by Logan Levitt as he steps out of the batter's box for just a few seconds to readjust and dial that swing in. And Atkin looking for the sign, the stretch, the delivery, and this one smack to left field. Going back, way back, long run, and it is caught. Thunder make the play in left field, and that's an out. First out of the inning for the Thunder.
I'm back. Thanks, guys.
Great run out there and left.
Can I take a broadcaster's timeout every once in a while or no?
I think it should be legal.
I said you had to take a brief respite.
Yep.
And you're back. It's very brief.
I ran.
Yeah, that's right.
Gotta catch my breath now. I have to up my cardio. Ooh, and that one behind Franco. And he's aborted for the second time today. This time, I think it hit him. First time was a walk.
That one hit him. As Atkin, I'd like to know what his pitch count's at.
Schaefer,
I'm sorry. At 19 pitches.
Yep. I mean, you start with a sophomore, you go to another sophomore. And they need some innings. They need some outs out of Schaefer if they can get him. See if he can settle in. Got a nice defensive play, at least to get that first out there by Stokely Tate down that left field line.
Long run. Could have been a long run for the Flyers on the base pass if he didn't make that play.
Replays tonight for our streaming audience brought to you by Red Rock Real Estate. There's a big swing by Max Orton, who already doubled in a couple RBIs. This time, though, gets underneath it. It's a deep fly out to center field as Clough ranges over and makes the play.
The lone senior making the play out there, calling off the left fielder and making the play as we see on the replay here. Great shot from Blake out there.
And here is Bartholomew. Malcolm was a Flyers older brother, now Coop in his senior season. 1 on, 2 outs. Already 9-0 Dixie.
Schaefer really pounding that inside half. Not getting many calls, but he's gotten 2 pop-outs.
Trying
to get it in there on the hands, not able to get a full extension on the ball, but it's kind of a tight strike zone this umpire has.
A guy that I think kind of flies under the radar as far as Dixie goes is Cooper Bartholomew. And on cue, he rips this one, and this one is out of here. Fly away baseball, a 2-run bomb. See ya, Cooper Bartholomew. I was going to say, he doesn't get any credit. He's hitting .304 this year. It's actually his first home run, and Flyers now have an 11-0 lead. Take another look, and that was gone by 45, 50 feet up to the secondary fence.
Yeah, the wind blowing right to left on your radio dial if you're listening on the radio. And that ball just was obliterated by Bartholomew. And now we've got an 11-0 game in the second inning here. Rain's starting to fall for Desert Hills.
And when do you go get Schaefer, or when do you not? I mean, you got to keep playing on. There's still a lot of baseball left. We're just in the second.
Well, I think they're in a bit of a different position here than Ridgeline because they are going to play tomorrow. It's already guaranteed they'll play tomorrow, so they've got to save as many arms as they can. I think at this point, when you're getting blown out, you just let him finish it out.
And he gets the third out. That's a pop-up out there to Clough. So he does give up just the 2 here. Obviously, a couple of the runs went to Atkin in the first. A couple were attributed to Schaefer. But a little bit better. Now maybe he will settle in. They can log some innings, but not before the Flyers get 2 more big runs in one swing of the bat. It's a round tripper, 2-run shot off the bat of Cooper Bartholomew. Flyers up big on the Fan Sports Network, KSLSports.com.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Guest Valley Bank. Mountains await. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dive. Head on over to our house, the House of Jump.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that could make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks A stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
And we're back just like that. Thanks for sticking through the break with us here on The Fan and KSLSports.com. We got over 20 sponsors helping you bring the 4A State Championship. We love our partners to get a chance. Go see Coral Canyon Golf Course. Go play around if you haven't. Right at the start of the year, back 5 months ago, January, for the Coral Canyon Amateur, they flipped the 9s. They changed the front 9 is now the back 9 and vice versa. They changed a par 5 to a par 4, made a par 4 a par 5. They've done some changes, so if you haven't played it this spring, it's fantastic shape. Get out there and swing the sticks at Coral Canyon. Stockton, when are you going to come down and play Coral Canyon with us?
I need to get down there. I've never golfed in South. I've actually never been south of Spanish Fork, so I need to work that out.
You go south, you won't want to come back north, buddy.
I know. I was born in the actual southeast, the American South, and I love the warm weather, so you'll trap me down there pretty easy.
The American South. That kind of sounds like my region of the country. What state were you born in, Stockton?
I was born in Texas, lived in Jersey, North Carolina twice, Illinois. That's floated way out there.
Wow. And this one's gone, guys. This one is out of here. That almost lands the same spot as Bartholomew's home run moments ago, and the Thunder at least have life here, as that one is absolutely ripped off the bat of Cooper Clough, the senior, making a senior memory there with a solo shot home run. Bye-bye.
And that's the first chink in the armor that Jake Andreas has showed tonight, as he's been cruising along, no stress, and that charge was jolted, or that ball was jolted and way out of this park.
How about that for the senior? Got to be happy for him, as maybe that will get the bats ignited, because they're going to need them if they're going to mount any kind of comeback. Flyers still up 11-1, 10-run lead. We're only in the top of the third inning here.
Let's see how Andreas rebounds after allowing that shot.
I'll tell you what, though, on the Desert Hills side, if that's not what sparks your offense, a moonshot, solo shot to start the inning after you go down 11, then I don't know what will.
From your senior.
Yeah,
Your
from,
only
from
senior.
your leader.
You know, it's funny. I go back to our Region 9 Baseball Media Day, Paul. You were there.
Yeah.
And we said, what are your thoughts on being the only senior? And Cooper said, I kind of like it. You know, I'm the one solo.
Yeah, the elder statesman.
He's the only captain on the team, basically. Got some other leaders that are juniors, but
sure.
At first, when Coach Kevin Cave sent me his list of players he's bringing to Media Day, it was Cooper Clough and him. I'm like, you might want to, unless you two want to fill 15 minutes by yourselves, you might want to bring another player. And he's like, well, he's my captain and my only senior. And Cooper Clough, man, that's a big shot there. And that's what, 5 home runs on the day now hit at this ballpark. And there's a shot up the middle, so they string a hit after a hit there. Jace Fillmore, a C&I single right back up the middle through the box.
You'd love to see that if you're Desert Hills. Build the momentum, get the line moving. Long way to go in this one. A lot of baseball to be played, and there's no quit in this Thunder team. We all know that. So, and now an opportunity to cut it into the deficit.
So big hill to climb. More
But no
like
outs.
more like Mount Everest to climb here against the number 1 seed, but it's the start of something, right, guys? And that's all Thunder fans can hope for.
Yeah.
Flyer fans not exactly on the edge of their seat worried at this point in time. 8-12, our time here, 3rd inning, and 1-1 the count after that bender. Now a dangerous player at the plate. This is the second time through the middle of the lineup. This is Hagen Reed, 8 dingers this year. You wonder what Coach Gibson's thinking on the back end. Probably Logan Levitt or Boston Vest would be my best thought on who could come in if they could chase Jake out of this game. Right now, no signs of that. But there's a 3rd hit in a row as he rips it through the hole between 2nd and 3rd past a diving Boston Vest. And the Thunder starting to get something going. That is 3 consecutive hits for the D Hills Thunder.
And the Thunder dugout, resounding ovation there as they really are starting to get some chemistry, and the bat chemistry, that is, going again as the bat is starting to heat up for the Thunder up and down the lineup as now Harmon Skeen steps in.
And Skeen. And there's that sneaky throw behind the runner, and Jace Fillmore back in time. But that's why Trent Pratt, coach of the BYU Cougars, loves the fact that Ridge Erickson has chose to keep similar colors and go play for the Cougs in the Big 12 conference.
Yeah. Big 12, an underrated base. Wow.
And another hit, and this one is going to load the bases. Fillmore had to freeze to make sure it wasn't caught, so they can't score Fillmore from second because he hit a laser. I mean, that was coming off the bat 95 miles an hour at least from Skeen. And that is 4 hits in a row, guys.
Yeah, I don't think he would have had a chance to score there even if he is running on the hit. But they are seeing the ball so much better now. I think it might have something to do with the fact that the sun just went back behind the O'Kers over there, and so the sun's not in your eyes if you're a right-handed batter.
And here is Andrew Wilson. Wilson 0 for 1, robbed by Isaac Zepp. And he hits it right back up the middle, and that's a 5th hit in a row. 1 run will score. Here comes another runner, and it will be a 2-run RBI hit for Andrew Wilson.
And Willie, look at him running down the line, getting the dugout fired up over there, and why not be fired up? 5 straight hits, and they really have kind of figured out Andreas here in this inning.
Wilson, who was offered after his freshman season by Coach Fate now, then he was sidelined all year with a torn labrum, had to have surgery. And I know he picked up an offer from Salt Lake Community College. He hasn't committed to anywhere yet, but this kid just right back up the middle. He was robbed, almost had that big hit in the first inning. He's seeing it well. 5 straight hits now for the Thunder. Here they come, guys.
Wonder if he's adjusting to this ballpark might help him make a decision.
And 3 runs now scored, and another sneaky play from Ridge behind the dish, but back just in time is a pinch runner. That is not Wilson. That is a pinch runner, if I'm not mistaken.
Ridge gunned down multiple guys yesterday. I feel like it was 2 or 3.
And another hit. That's 6 in a row, and they're going to wave the runner around third from second. Here comes the play
Good
at the
throw.
plate, and it is going to be not in time as Skeen dives in safe, head first, Pete Rose style. And don't look now, but things getting interesting. And Coach Danny Ibsen springs out of the dugout. He's going to take a stroll out to the mound. He wants time.
Take a look at that slide again. We just got the very back end of it, but you see the runner's got some space on the baseline when you get towards that home plate area, that big circle in there. Obviously, you can't leave the base path too heavily because you'll get penalized for that, and they'll call you out on the base path. But he managed to get just enough outside because he watched the catcher jump up to get that ball a little bit early, open up the space behind him, and then you just stick your left hand out on the very bottom corner of the plate.
How about Bo Wall and RB? So look at this, guys. You go back to Clough. We said, will that ignite the Thunder? Home run, solo shot, Fillmore singles. Single by Hagen Reed. Single by Skeen. A 2 RBI single by Wilson, and now an RBI single by Bo Wall. And all of a sudden, it's 11-4, and this is the closest they've been since that top of the first inning when Dixie hung 9 on them.
Yeah, obviously still a big deficit, but, that's your spark plug right there. That's what they do, and that's what you needed, and it's what you got.
Here is CC, the other CC. CC back in the command center at the Finley Studios, and now Crew Christensen at the plate, first pitch swinging, and it's a Fabulous Freddy's foul ball. Tonight's game brought to you by Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. You'll get a scoop or two on Bluff Street or a Utah location. And by The Rink, skatetherink.com. Check out all the activities and events. Go follow them on social media or check out the website. Paulie wants to rent the whole building and have a roller hockey game one night.
That's right.
You send me the time and the address, and I'll make the drive.
Probably not as agile as I once was on skates.
You could probably fill up the net. Yeah, you can fill up the net.
A little goal.
You look like Ottinger in there. Paul Ottinger Ratliff.
That's right.
Swing and a miss by Christensen, 1-2 the count. All this, guys, and still no outs. They've already plated 4 here in the top of the third inning.
Oh, also no outs.
Yeah. Nobody down. Runners on the corners.
Ooh, tough take.
By the way, that is Taylor running for Wilson, the catcher, over at third.
And all the while, this huge inning for the Thunder, now Jake Entre is up to 63 pitches.
Yeah, he's laboring a little bit here. Christensen, good eye, lays off that. Just missing the top right corner of the K-zone, if you're looking at it from our angle behind home plate.
Yeah, and you've seen Andres has been forced to slow down by the Thunder. That's what they needed to do in this inning because those really quick first 2 innings was hurting them. It was throwing off their timing.
A chopper to vest, could be 2. 6-4, the relay. Head first slide by Christensen. He is out. It's a Patio Furniture St. George double play. They do get a run, though. On it's Taylor scores from third, so it is 11-5.
And CC really wanted that slide as he was pounding the turf, looking at the umpire.
One more look.
I'm going to be honest, fellas. I think he was safe.
Let's take one more look. Foul ball by Briggs Fillmore.
Oh, did we lose that? It's not coming up.
We lost our replay?
I guess so.
I caught it at the tail end, and I was thinking the same thing. As that was closer maybe than I thought live. Crew Christensen's 6'4". He's long and
long stride. Getting down the line.
You know, ESPN did the scientific study on the head first slide versus striding through the bag, and they came to the conclusion on the third. It was at 30 for 30. I can't remember what it was, but that it's
Sports science.
Thank you. That it actually, if I remember correctly, is not proven that it is faster to slide head first than it is to run through the bag. But on that play, it almost looked like he beat that throw by a half second. But it's a Patio Furniture St. George double play. They got that new location. They moved over there next to Confetti Kids Club. Go check it out. Fillmore got looking. He goes down. But hey, the Thunder, maybe a little life here. They still trail by 6 runs, but they get 5 runs back in the top of the third inning on 6 hits. And they do leave one out there on base. And we go to the bottom home half of the third. Flyers still in control. 11-5 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Stay with us, everybody.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that can make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks A stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dodge. Head on over to our house, the House of Jump.
Athletes, now is the time to build explosive strength, power, speed, and agility when you join Intermountain Sports Performance through our Season of Speed Holiday Special. Call 435-251-2299 to instantly save $100 on our 8-week training program. Must purchase by December 31st.
Hey, we are back, everybody, and we've got ourselves a little bit of excitement. So exciting to start for the Flyers, and now the Thunder fans have a little something to be excited about.
Yeah.
And now Dixie's thinking, with our offense, the way it's clicking, can we go answer right back? That's the question here. Is Schaefer's back out there to pitch for the Thunder in the bottom of the 3rd inning?
Just 2 innings allowed last inning for the Thunder, as that first inning really popped for 9, and you thought this could be a long day, but a good rebound in the 2nd inning, just posting a 2 spot for the Flyers.
And Ridge is leading off. This is already his 3rd at bat of the game as we just open up the bottom of the 3rd. And
Ridge is going to make you throw strikes too.
Yep.
You know, he's not going to let you get away with throwing stuff on the outer edge and diving away.
And he gets a beat on this one, and this one is
Goodbye.
back and bye-bye over the wall. A solo shot home run for Ridge Erickson. His 2nd hit of the game and his 2nd RBI of the game. Wow, flyaway baseball.
And Ridge Erickson, obviously going to BYU, one of the top players in all of the state, probably the best catcher in my mind in the state. And he just shows his batting prowess there as he just flicks that one with an ease of the bat to the over the fence and gone.
And I do want to point out that's the 6th home run in this ballpark, and they've all been to left center or left field straight away. Now, in Ridge's defense, there's only about a 7-8 mile an hour wind right now. The wind is starting to let up.
That's about as low as it's been all day.
Yeah, that was a shot.
Yeah.
And the 2 other ones, I don't care if there's wind or not, the ones up on the fence, Clough's home run, as well as the home run by Bartholomew, those were no doubters.
Yeah.
I mean, wind or not, they were out of here.
Well, the super impressive thing about Clough's, too, is he hit it way high up in the air and
then
still made it over.
Boston Vest doing Boston Vest-like
He's going to
things.
try and stretch it.
And he's going to go for 2, and they would have had the tag in time, but it hops high and past Fillmore.
Aggressive base running move here, as he was thinking 2 all the way there. Right out of the box, he was going for 2 and kind of caught the Thunder, guessing, and that ball bounces. Not quite a clean throw in exchange, and he's safe on 2nd.
Are we going to score that at?
Yeah, that'd be an E.
Yeah, it should be a single in the throwing error.
He was going all the way. There's no question, like you said, Paulie, but the throw was a short hop and took a high bounce. I don't know you can pin that on Fillmore there, who was just fielding the bag.
Sure.
These scoreboards, for now, it appears, is giving him a double. No error. They already had 1 error. They have not thrown a 2nd error on the board. So
I think it would be a single and then an advancement, because that was never a double.
Yeah.
But he made it one.
But that Vest, we saw him stretch that double into a triple in his last at bat. He's already got a triple and a double.
Oh, see again, maybe.
Oh, baby. This one off the bat of Yates, and this one to the track, and it gets the fence. Stokely Tate reels it in. And that is just a deep out, but we thought we had another ball leaving the park for a second, guys.
Flyers starting to tee off on the ball a little bit here in this inning, as we've seen some long rides given, one all the way out of the park, and that one just about 3 feet away. We see one of our young spectators climbing on the fence wanting a piece of that ball.
Almost another moonshot, but it's just a deep out number 1.
Great work there by Tate, too, to make that adjustment. He saw he found his way to the warning track, was trying to find the fence and couldn't, just made that last-second body adjustment to get to the ball.
Pitch from Schaefer. Oh, he beans Carter Turley. And I know you've gotten back in this game and you need some innings, but when do you go a little deeper in the bullpen? If you're Coach Kevin Cave, that's got to be going through his mind right now. How long do I roll with Schaefer? You're down 7 runs. You're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. He just gave up a jack to Ridge Erickson, a double or a single in advancement, however you want to score it, to Boston Vest, and nearly a home run to Yates. So they are seeing it really well. Off Atkin, they chased in the 1st, and now off Schaefer. 2 sophomores out there, right-handed pitchers.
I think you leave him out there for now and hope he can get these last 2 outs, then move on and just process, because that means that the run output has been coming down from Dixie from the beginning of the game. But if this turns into another multiple run inning, I think he'll be making his exit.
Let me correct myself. Atkin was a lefty. I think I said 2 righties. And that's a shot down the line, and that is a fair baseball. 1 run will score. Vest has touched home plate. Here comes the runner. He's going to put the brakes on at 3rd, and it's going to be another RBI double for Logan the Levitator Levitt.
And Logan Levitt's been seeing the ball so well today. He's cleared the bases a couple times, it seems. And what a hit and what a jolt that ball was given by Logan the Levitator Levitt.
Yeah, they're going to go to the pitching mound now. They're going to go back to the bullpen after this turned into a multi-run inning.
And do you save crew for tomorrow, and do you go to Cooper Clough, Hagen Reed?
Do you
bring in somebody that's out in the bullpen? It looks like somebody's coming from the bullpen. So we'll check on the pitcher. We got a meeting on the mound. We got a pitching change brought to you by Luke Udy at American Family Insurance. It's going to be number 10 for the Thunder, and that is going to be McIntosh, another sophomore that will pitch. We'll tell you his numbers when we come back. 13-5, Flyers in control over D Hills.
Oh, hello, Italian nightclub from Jimmy John's. Ciao, freshly baked bread piled with Italian-style meats. Hey, hand-sliced veggies. Am I obsessed with this sandwich? Yeah. So what if I am? Jimmy John's. Order online or on the app.
Inspired design. Ultra-quiet operation. To you, it's a bright Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Relatives coming to visit? Not enough room? Or maybe you're looking to host a family reunion and need a house with a pool? Well, Red Rock Vacation Rentals has got you covered. From 2-bedroom condos to 10-bedroom luxury homes, they truly have something for everyone. Plan your perfect getaway or staycation. Visit St. George, Utah, vacationrentals.com.
All right, so call the bullpen. Probably not exactly to script for Kevin Cave, as the Flyers have chased Hoyt Atkin and now chased Boston Schaefer. And they're going to go to another sophomore pitcher here, and this is McIntosh. And McIntosh will get you the numbers on him on the mound. Haven't seen him much this year at all. 5.65 ERA. He's only made 3 appearances, but he is 2-0. I think both those wins though came in the non-conference part. It wasn't in region play. And for McIntosh, you look at the 8 2/3 of work, giving up 10 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned. He's walked 5. He struck out 6. So not a huge sample size. Opponents are hitting .303 against him, and so you're just trying to find somebody to come in and give you a spark on the mound right now if you're Kevin Cave, because Dixie is seeing watermelons right now. And we talked about the hits. There was 6 hits in a row by the Thunder in the top of the 3rd. And for the Flyers, 1, 2, 3 hits in the last 5 batters. So, I mean, not quite the consecutive hits. But, Yates almost went yard. That was on the track right up high against that 8-foot fence. And there's a nice single to the left side. Another run will score. They're going to put the brakes on, and the throw comes in high, and a good catch there, Willie. But because the ball is not cut off, that allows the runner to go to second, and another runner into scoring position, and the hits just keep coming.
Yeah, this is a tough spot to come in from the pen, as 2 runners were already on. Now one of them is in, and still 2 runners on in scoring position.
Trace Franco with a double. Are you going to give him a single there? Going to give him the single and the advancement on the throw.
Yep.
No error on the play, obviously.
No error, but it was a single, and then because they threw home, he took second.
Yeah, I'm giving him a single. I agree. Turley, who was hit by a pitch, has been plated.
Now Orton up to bat.
And the lead, guys, is back to 9 just like that.
It's crazy. You give up 5 runs in the top of the third, and you're going back to the dugout. You're probably just scoffing. You're like, yeah, we'll get it right back. Don't even worry about it.
As the Flyers' offensive prowess and wow, another shot.
Orton not going to...
Got under it.
Yep, this one hang up. And they're going to tag the runner, though. It's going to be a sac fly RBI for Max Orton.
And we're back in run rule territory.
And it's back to a 10-run lead. Yes, indeed. So the Flyers cut it down to 6, and you look up, and now it's back to 10. The 5 runs you just made up, you've given 4 of the 5 back already in the bottom half of this inning. Those runs will go to Schaefer.
And it just seems like they can't really stop the bleeding here. A lot of these rallies have come with 2 outs. The long 9-run one, and now this one.
McIntosh, Bender, good pitch, but just doesn't quite get back over the outer half or outer edge.
Dixie is seeing the ball better than any team that we have seen in this tournament so far, including Dixie from yesterday.
And Bear River, who scored 15 runs earlier today. And there's a chopper to third. Glove by Wall. Throw is a laser beam across the diamond, and the inning comes to an end. But not before the Flyers, who got it going with a home run by Ridge Erickson, doubles from Vest and Levitt, and an RBI hit from Franco and Orton with a sac fly. They get 4 runs on 3 hits, and boy, oh boy, this Fly Boys team is feeling good tonight here at Kate Field at Salt Lake Community College, and the lead is back up to 10, 15-5 on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Athletes, now is the time to build explosive strength, power, speed, and agility when you join Intermountain Sports Performance through our Season of Speed Holiday Special. Call 435-251-2299 to instantly save $100 on our 8-week training program. Must purchase by December 31st.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Hey, we're back. We were in a deep discussion here in the press box about dinner plans later tonight. We're getting hungry here. This is the 4th game of the day for us. Devin Dixon, Stockton Jukes, Paul Ratliff up in the booth. And Blake O'Rulan, 4th member of our crew. We're here all week. He's running the camera. And we're getting some great shots we hope for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Everybody back home on radio on the Fan Sports Network. Our privilege to bring you the coverage tonight. And it's been an exciting game offensively for these two teams, especially Dixie, right, guys? I mean, Dixie is just from the get-go came out swinging for the fences.
Yeah, they're sending balls over the fence. They're sending balls to the outfield. They've just done every single hitting gaps. It just seems, and that was one of our Team D Auto keys to the game, was hitting gaps.
Find the alleys, and they have.
Yeah.
The Flyers.
2-2 count.
Up 10-5. This is the number 9 hitter, Stokely Tate, to lead off the top of the 4th inning for the Thunder. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Rope to Vest at short on a 1-hop. The throw a little bit high. And he's going to turn and go to 2, as that was an E6 on the throw. You don't see that mistake from Boston Vest very often at all.
Yeah, that was airmail throw. Got the replay on that one. It was pretty high ball, not a chance to make a play on this ball.
I wanted to look. I mean, shortstops, a lot of balls. Fielding percentage this year, 942 for Vest. That is air number 7 out of, the 29th game of the season. So, again, like I said, you don't see that often. Chopper to third. Levitt has it. This throw, money. And they'll throw behind the runner, and he is back safe at second, but nearly a double play. as Stokely Tate was wandering off the bag too far.
It's not only Ridge Erickson behind the plate with the quick whips around the diamond to get extra outs, but that was a prime opportunity to steal another out, and he almost got him, just barely got back to that base.
So good play by Levitt, 5-3 to put out in the scorebook as he threw it across to first. And Cooper Clough is retired. And now Jace Fillmore, first pitch swinging, fouls it off out of play down the first base line. It's a Fabulous Freddy's foul ball. Coupon books are on sale, 30% off through Father's Day. Go stock up for yourself or get a gift for dad or for your grads. Graduation firing up next week.
Yeah.
I know graduation week next week for Dixie and Desert Hills and all the schools statewide. Next week is graduation week.
Just a really surreal time to be a senior in high school this time of year.
I've never felt old, but all of a sudden the realization that I'm having my second kid graduate high school is making me feel like time just slowed down a little bit. And for those out there older than me, you're probably thinking that was a long time ago. But it does go by fast. You know, you hear people warn you, hey, enjoy it, soak it up, which me and my wife have done. I'm going to be celebrating my 21st anniversary on Friday at the ballpark with you guys, and there's a hit to the right side. It's going to get into right field off the bat of Jace Fillmore.
And the Desert Hills offense has shown that it's here to play after, a slow start. The first 2 innings put zeros on the board, but a 5-run spot last inning, and now 2 runners on, just 1 out, and an opportunity for the man with the pink sleeve himself, number 24.
Yeah, and if you want to look glass full to further take your point to the next level, like win or lose, like the bats are good for Desert Hills. It's the pitching that's let them down today.
Taking Reed up.
And to a certain extent, kind of let them down yesterday, giving up 7 runs to Bear River.
Yeah. And I'd almost say it's a mixture of letting them down, but also just getting beat by Dixie. They've been seeing the ball incredibly well, and, pitching does play a part of that, but also it's just talent and experience on the other end of that.
Yeah, it's a good point. You got to tip your hat to the Dixie hitters. They have had an unbelievable plate approach, patient mindset, but then jumping on balls that are in the zone. They're just seeing it really well.
Again, that's the seniority battle, I think.
Yeah. And it's not like Desert Hills doesn't have experience. A lot of these kids played in the playoffs last year, but it was an early exit. They came up and lost their first 2 last year, but they did make it to bracket play last year. Did have a few more seniors on last year's team than they do this year. By the way, I'm getting a little wiser in my age. Friday, I did leave a gift and a card with instructions to my kids to surprise my wife. Hopefully she's not watching right now. I got to catch myself.
Yeah.
Usually my wife is not watching me when I'm broadcasting games. She's probably watching reruns of Castle on Hulu.
Underrated show, Castle.
We did watch that Doctor Who on Disney Plus over the weekend for an episode or 2. That was interesting.
Okay.
There's another Game of Thrones or House of Dragons coming out this summer. That caught my wife's eye.
Sure.
I might be one of the only people on the planet that never watched Game of Thrones.
Me neither. I'm
never
with you.
saw an episode. I read the books, never saw an episode.
See, my wife read all the books after she watched the series. I've never read the books, but I did watch we watched the first one. We're like, this isn't very good. And then we went back, and there is a shot, but it's going to twist right near the pole, and it is going to stay in the yard in foul territory, and it's not caught out there by Yates. Looked like he almost had a beat on it, but couldn't make the catch.
Oh, boy, if he was 2 feet to the right there, that would have been a fair ball and extra bases because he would have had to fumble around for that one. He got lucky that drifted the way it did, and the wind is now blowing further out towards the left field pole as well, so that probably helped him.
Yeah, and the wind has still kind of lightened up. When we were seeing 20-plus mile-an-hour winds, now probably under 10, breezing up maybe 8 to 10, I would guesstimate, by the American flags.
That's going to load him up.
And Hagen Reed will get a free pass with 1 out, and you're right. You keep thinking Dixie's comfortable, but Desert Hills is not quitting, guys.
Desert Hill's not quitting, but they've got to show the ability to shut down Dixie on the offensive end.
Yes, that poses a problem.
That poses a problem because they've shown they can hit. They strung together six straight hits last inning.
And here is another good hitter, the cleanup hitter, Harmon Skeen, with them juiced. Ball 1 outside from Jake Andreas.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that play out in foul territory in left field if Desert Hills comes in and scores a couple more in this inning.
Check to swing. It gets away from Ridge, but not far enough.
It hit the umpire.
And the umpire goes down, and Ridge is checking on him there. You okay, he says. Danny Ibsen's going to come out and check on the umpire as well. I couldn't tell where it got him at.
It looks like it got him on the lower body, bounced in the dirt, and I think kicked into his leg or his shin or something, and just took him by surprise.
He's holding the right part of his neck, it looked like there. Great shot.
I wonder if he got caught by the bat.
There's Jason Estridge, who's the crew chief. He was behind the plate with this crew. This is I don't know the home plate umpire's name, and he's okay. He's not leaving this game. He's toughing it out. Just needed a minute.
Yeah, he was rubbing that shoulder, that jaw area. I wonder if he got clipped by the bat.
And he did appeal, I think, in that whole process. Coach Ibsen, after he checked on the umpire, said, did he swing? And the first base umpire, who is Estridge, said no, safe. So 2-0 the count.
Our batter owes the home plate umpire a thank you card there because his jaw probably slowed the bat down enough.
Here is Skeen now checking his swing, and it's 3-0 the count.
Man.
Nowhere to put him here. Sacks are full of Thunder players.
I know this is generally a take spot, but then it was.
Yeah, you do. Your run means nothing. You're down 10. And so you need to see and you're probably taking here, but this might be the best pitch to hit. And he does, but it's a chopper back to the pitcher. They'll come to the plate. They'll go to first. It's a 1 to 2 to 3 double play brought to you by Patio Furniture of St. George.
Incredible turn there as we see on the replay. Ridge Erickson just makes plays as he catches it at home, tags the lead runner, and then flings it to first for the double play. And man, what looked like potentially a dangerous inning, Dixie gets out.
Guys, I have not put a 1 to 2 to 3 double play down in my scorebook all year long. I can tell you that much. That's going to be tough to beat for our Mountain Land Supply defensive play of the game. We played through 4.5 here, and it is 15-5 Flyers on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
Your child's sports journey starts with the City of St. George Recreation. From their first steps on the court or field to becoming a star player, our youth sports programs are here to develop talents and teamwork skills. So get out and play. Check out all the sports and get signed up at sgcityrec.org.
Athletes, now is the time to build explosive strength, power, speed, and agility when you join Intermountain Sports Performance through our Season of Speed Holiday Special. Call 435-251-2299 to instantly save $100 on our 8-week training program. Must purchase by December 31st.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Welcome back, everybody. And I jumped the gun. After 8 games in 2 days, you start to look at the scoreboard. We're through 3.5, not 4.5, as I miscorrect. But if that's the biggest mistake I make in the broadcast, I think I'll sleep fine tonight.
We'll forgive you after hour 24.
You look up at the board and you blank. But here we go to the home half of the fourth. And Isaac Zeff, the number 9 hitter, will step in. First pitch swinging, fouled straight back. Want to thank some more of our sponsors. We're going to hand out some awards in our post-game show, brought to you by Johnson Pediatric Dentistry. How about our AWP Playmaker Play of the Game? Shop local, they employ local, the playmakers in the appliance business, Appliance Wholesalers Plus. Appreciate those guys. Longtime local sponsor of sports on the network. Finley Subaru Star of the Game, as this one's lifted high into the sunsetting sky here, and an easy play for Hagen Reed in shallow right, one away. And back to Ridge Erickson, who's getting his fourth at bat. And don't look now, but Ridge has got a cycle in play already. I mean, yeah. He's got a home run. He's got a single. He just needs the double and the triple. And the way he's seeing the ball, I wouldn't count him out right now.
Had that bases clearing double just yesterday. Those wheels to get that triple, maybe he can do it.
I think the only thing that would stop him tonight is a short game. I think he would do it if you gave him enough innings.
Yeah. True.
Vest, if they wouldn't have scored at an air, would have a single, a double, and a triple and just need a home run for a similar cycle. But they did score an air on that hot shot off his bat to the hot corner back in the first.
Did they score that the double when he stretched it?
I think it was a single into a throwing error.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Yeah, you're probably right.
We'll have to check. We don't get stats up here.
Could check Game Changer, though.
Yeah.
True.
15-5, Flyers lead. For our television viewers that are wondering, why does Devin say the score all the time? Well, we got radio listeners, too, so you're going to hear me try to keep them up to speed. Nothing worse than driving 15 minutes across town and turning the radio on, going from the grocery store and going, what's that score of that game now?
Yeah. Time and score, most important thing for the radio listeners.
Reset the game, right? 9 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 4 more in the third for the Flyers, getting their licks here in the fourth. Boston Vest will step in. Ridge Erickson draws the base on balls, and he is aboard. Thunder, goose eggs in the first 2, got 5 in the third, had the bases loaded moments ago, and Andreas worked out of some trouble. And they strand 3. And that might have been kind of the deflating moment for the Thunder. You know, when you're trying to chase a 10-run deficit, you got the bases loaded.
And then you get the 1-2-3 double play.
Yeah.
That's hard to get by.
Yeah, because if you barrel that up, it goes right past Andreas into center field and everything changes. Instead, Andreas has time because he just didn't quite barrel it up to go get the force at home and then time to get it down there. And Ridge just being Ridge behind the plate. He almost knew as soon as Ridge caught it, it was going to be there to first in time to get him.
Yeah.
That's got to be our leading candidate for our Mountain Supply defensive play of the game.
I think not leading candidate. Let's just lock it up now.
Well, I don't want to
Unless there's something that happens in these later innings.
It's leading. That's why I say leading candidate. I don't want to make it official. What if somebody robs one with their elbow over the fence and straightaway center field with the bases loaded or something?
That's right.
And this is going to be a pitch that gets away.
Wide turn there, and he's going to throw.
Wilson does fire down a second, but sliding back safely out there was Ridge Erickson. And was that a wild? That was a short hopper, wasn't it? Probably scored that one a wild pitch. I couldn't tell.
He pulled that one to the outside plate. I think Erickson could have made it to third too if he just kept running. He made a huge turn, had a lot of speed going around the bag, and I think he had more time than he realized.
You wonder how Crew was feeling after 26 pitches. You wonder if he'll be in line to start potentially tomorrow for Desert Hills, regardless of the outcome of this game.
Well, at this point, he hasn't given up the most runs out of anyone on his staff today. I think he gave up 5 before he got replaced, maybe 6.
And there's a chopper, and they're going to go down to second, and they get the out. It wasn't a force. He's out there at second. Ridge wandered off the bag, and Wall, instead of going to first, throws to Fillmore at second. And, man, I thought for a second live that maybe Ridge got back. Let's take another look. Our Red Rock Real Estate replay. This is a play where he's going to pickle there.
I think he did get back. I think you're right.
That shoulder tag, the hand was already close to the bag. I'm not so sure.
Close.
Close.
Really close.
And nobody's got a better view than the umpire out there at second. And they do call Ridge Erickson out. So
that's great shortstop fundamentals, though. You always check that runner on second. If he flinches forward, you make that throw, and you'll get the out.
Yeah.
And there's a liner, and it goes off the mitt of Fillmore, just off the tip of his mitt, and Yates is going to have another hit. He's going to stretch to second as a throw to third. And so, you could say a base running error, and now maybe a throwing mental error, and now you got runners on second and third with 2 outs, and the Flyers can try to tack on to their 10-run lead.
All of a sudden, a runner on first and 2 outs. Now, 2 runners on second and third, and a very dangerous situation that could put this game out of reach for the Thunder here. Obviously, it's kind of a tough road to hoe already down 10, but this could really cement it for the Flyers.
The right fielder on that one, trying to make that throw to third, that's a hero throw. They were trying to cut that off at second. They would have had the out at second if they would have made the correct throw there. It's one of the tough things when you're down in a game like this by this much in the playoffs. You start trying to play hero ball.
Yeah.
Yates has his 3rd hit of the game. He is 3 for 4. He's now out there at second. Vest is at third. Carter Turley's at the plate. Turley 1 for 2 tonight. 15-5 Flyers. We're in the home half of the fourth inning. And the pitch from McIntosh and the lefty delivery down in the dirt. And another good block there by Wilson. 3 sophomores have pitched tonight for Desert Hills, and they've all taken their lumps, honestly. I mean, 15 runs, 13 hits.
They've all taken their lumps, but we should qualify that statement by saying that Dixie is one of the most dangerous lineups in the state, top to bottom.
That's why they're the number 1 seed.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we said that earlier. We said, hey, obviously pitching hasn't not been there, but you've got to tip your hat to good hitters.
Yes.
And that's what we've done in this game.
They really are just teeing off on the ball. No other way to put it.
You love the fight from the Thunder, though. I mean, this team is not quitting. They're playing on. They're not rattled.
Quit is not in the Thunder's vocabulary.
There you go.
I love it. I love the resilience from this team.
Little golf shot. That was down in below the ankles, it looked like, and tried to pull that one, but foul. Carter Turley again, 1 for 2 tonight. CT on the season. He's been swinging it, man. This kid, the junior, 375, the batting average coming into the game today. He's already increased that depending on what happens in this plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight, so that's not going to hurt his average one bit. If he gets hit here, definitely will leave with a couple percentage points on the average. 2-2 pitch. And a block by Wilson again as that was down low.
Still 1 base available. But
how many times have we had the bases loaded? 3? Twice or just one apiece? One apiece, right?
I believe you're correct.
Flyers have had some chances to load the bases, but usually clear them instead today.
Very valid. Very valid point. The pitch from McIntosh.
And the Thunder, when they strung together those 6 straight hits, were constantly moving the runners, clearing the bases. So it's really not a true indictment of how much action we've seen in this game. We're talking about 8 and 13 hits. So for the respective teams, Thunder with 8, Flyers with
Well, we know
13.
in the top half of the fourth they left him loaded.
Yeah.
They had 2 on base in the third. So they've left some runners out there in scoring. Ooh, and he plunked him. Turley gets hit right in the left hip.
And we were talking about loading them up. They're juiced now.
Yes, sir.
Boy, they exchanged some gestures after that one. Hurley just looked right down there at the mound and said, what was that about? Kind of tossed his shin guard at him, and then Desert Hills pitcher, in response, just gestured his glove towards first base, said, get down there.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to hit him there. I mean, you did have a free base available. Do you really want to load him up for Logan Levitt, the levitator, though?
No, I doubt it was intentional for sure, but definitely some frustration coming
Well, I mean, if you're Carter Turley, you want to swing the bat and bat in a couple runs there, and he doesn't get that opportunity. Now Levitt has a chance to do some big-time damage here. Bags full of Flyers. Coach Gibson, Coach Hill, Coach Chutter Nyberg, Jagan left the whole staff. Scotty Vest up by 10, and you got Levitt at the plate hitting .395, the season batting average.
2 for 3 today.
Levitt, just 1 home run this year. Could this be a second for the senior with him loaded in the state tournament?
That'd be the exclamation point that the Flyers want for this game.
Levitt tonight has been hot, just like this whole lineup. He's 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored, guys. So he has been very productive in the 5 spot of the batting order for Coach Danny Ibsen. McIntosh ready. Bender just stays outside.
Really not wanting to give him anything to hit here because it is absolutely vital that Desert Hills puts up their first goose egg of the game here. Down by 10, they're going to need at least 1 run to extend the game in the next half inning, and you don't want to make that a bigger need.
And that one high, 3-1 the count. Tonight's game brought to you by Dealer Collision. Remember, you choose who fixes your vehicle. If you've been in a minor collision, a shopping cart gets loose in the parking lot, or you're getting a little fender bender, Dealer Collision, your choice for collision repair. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Nowhere to put him. Needs to throw a strike, and he does. Paints the inside part of the plate. 3-2 to Logan Levitt. He was taking there.
I appreciate Levitt's subtle complaint there to the umpire. Didn't say anything, didn't gesture anything, just looked further down at the ground for a little bit longer, kind of indicating that was inside, but not getting into trouble for that.
3-2 pitch coming.
Time
called by Levitt. Trying to dictate the pace here against the sophomore pitcher, McIntosh, and Andrew Wilson's going to go out and talk through what he wants here. You know, a key hit here, and it's going to be nearly impossible. We said it's a big hill to climb for Desert Hills after they spotted 9 runs in the first.
But bare minimum, you've got to get this game to 7 innings if you want a chance.
Yeah, no question. You're chasing a lot of runs here just to even. And so you need some at bats. You need to go through the lineup a couple of times again still if you're going to have a shot. It'll be interesting to see when Coach Ibsen decides to go to the bullpen. He doesn't have to worry about that right now with the offense out there and the bag's full, and Levitt wants time again. Maybe Levitt felt like McIntosh was taking too much time. Maybe they were rolling through the signs again. Does he try to freeze him with the bender?
I'd say pull the string here. Gone fastball quite a bit on the inner half. Let's slow it down a little bit. Maybe a little off speed, I think, here.
McIntosh, here comes the full count pitch. It's in the dirt, and it's going to walk in a run. That's the 4th RBI of the night. He had 2 in the first, another one in the third, and another one here in the bottom of the 4th. Levitt, 4 ribbies. He deserves a ribeye steak, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, that's going to do it for Desert Hills, too. Now they've got to get at least 2.
You have to extend the game in the 5th. You're right. It puts a little pressure on the offense.
It's 16-5. Scoreboard says 17-5. They've got to change that.
Yeah, it's 16-5. Base is still loaded. They walk in a run. Here comes Kevin Cave out to the mound. Is that going to be it for McIntosh? Doesn't look like he's going to go get him. Looks like he's just going to have a discussion, check on him maybe. And Kevin Cave, very, very calm managerial style. Never too high, never too low.
Looks like he's just having a really frank conversation out there with him of, hey, listen, that's probably the nail in the coffin for us tonight, so just get us through the rest of this game and we'll worry about tomorrow. But there's probably very, very little they can do for the rest of this evening.
Is he buying some time for somebody in the bullpen? You do have a pitcher warmer out in right field in the bullpen area. And now home plate umpire is going to say, okay, and that's going to do it. He's going to go get him. So he was just buying some time for the reliever. We're going to have a pitching change brought to you by Luke Udy at American Family Insurance. We'll talk about it when we come back after this 60-second timeout.
Did you know that it costs less to maintain your equipment than to repair it? Yet 90% of breakdowns are caused by system neglect. Give your heating, cooling, and plumbing the care they deserve. For all your air conditioning and plumbing needs, turn to the experts.
Athletes, now is the time to build explosive strength, power, speed, and agility when you join Intermountain Sports Performance through our Season of Speed Holiday Special. Call 435-251-2299 to instantly save $100 on our 8-week training program. Must purchase by December 31st.
Transform your outdoor space with The Awning Company, St. George's top choice for awnings and outdoor enhancements. We specialize in making your backyard your favorite room of the house. With customizable options for every budget, from small projects to complete backyard remodels, we do it all. Experience superior craftsmanship, high-quality materials, and personalized service that sets us apart. For a limited time, enjoy 25% off in-stock kitchen components. Visit us at 735 South Bluff or go to theawningco.com.
Hey, it's Marco from Coral Canyon Golf Course, inviting you to play the course with the best backdrop in Southern Utah. Make sure you get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit CoralCanyonGolfCourse.com or call us at 435-688-1700 for your tee times.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. New pitcher into the game. This is the 4th pitcher to enter in this one as they're trying to find anybody can slow down the bats. And we've got a pitcher that hasn't thrown a varsity inning this year. So no varsity statistics. And we've got to dig a little deeper here to get some info And, of course, that's what I've been doing in the break here. And the new pitcher is not even listed. He's a write-in on the roster. It's Roa Wall. Is that Bo's little brother?
I'll start looking that up.
Interesting that they're going to use a fourth arm in this game. You know, we've kind of alluded to it the last couple of half innings, but it really seems like Dixie's going to be finishing this game in the next half inning. 11-run deficit. Desert Hills needs to close it to 9 or less in the top of the fifth if they want the game to continue. And so to go through 4 arms now, use another lefty when you're guaranteed to have to play tomorrow, and if you win tomorrow, you have to play a second game just to advance to potentially an elimination game for the final series. They're going to have some struggles with the bullpen going forward because they're not going to have as much in relief, and they're going to have some people on pinch count restrictions.
This is Bo Wall's little brother, Roa. And we have not seen him pitch varsity game this year. Lefty.
Good-looking pitch there.
Yeah. Strike one.
But to Stockton's point, they did stash Crew Christensen. They didn't use him today. I'd assume that's the plan for tomorrow. Using some younger arms.
Even if it wasn't coming into this game, it is now.
Yeah, it's definitely the plan now. It's pretty much set in stone that he'll be the guy.
So Roa in the pitch, first varsity appearance of the year. I'm sure he's played lots of JV and got some innings in, but we have no stats on him. We know it's Bo's little brother. And
man, what a spot to come in and make your first varsity appearance.
Yeah, bases loaded on a
High
Tuesday
leverage.
in the bracket play, and he induces a slicing foul ball that's going to get into the fence area down the first base right field line. And Roa will get a fresh baseball, take a little stroll behind the bump. Wonder what his heart rate is right now, if you put an old Apple Watch on him or...
But this is great for the future.
Oh, yeah, give him a taste.
I bet he can dang near taste his heartbeat.
And that one gets away, but it takes a ricochet. Wilson's going to throw it. The tag won't be in time. And another run, 17-5 now. Dixie has the lead as Yates comes in to score. And Turley and Levitt move up to second and third. It looked pretty good there, but then on a 2-2 pitch, that one just wild.
Yeah.
And got to the backstop. It ricocheted right back to Wilson, to where for a second there I thought there is quite a bit of space. The most space in foul territory is directly behind home plate. And then it narrows once you get past the dugouts, and there's not a lot of foul territories down the lines here at Cape Field, home of the Salt Lake Community College
and
Bruins.
It's slightly deeper on the first base side, too. That visitor dugout is a little further away from the field of play.
You're right.
Good point.
Good pitch there, but fought off.
It's what home teams like to do that a lot with their field dimensions, is just these little minuscule mental games that they can play with their visitors, kind of make them feel like they have a disadvantage or something like that. Because at the end of the day, that's not a disadvantage, but it can feel like it.
Sure.
So Yates and Erickson have scored already. 2 more on the board here. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. And now 17-5, a 12-run lead. That is the largest lead of the game after Dixie got off to that 9-0 start after the first inning. And now Franco walks. They had an open base. That's Trace's third walk of the game, guys. He's been very patient at the plate, very selective.
It's probably why Dixie's been so good offensively, is because they've been sitting on those 50-50 pitches. They've been getting friendly calls because they've been so disciplined.
Sorry, that is his second walk of the night. He did have a single. He was 1 for 1. I need the lights on in this booth. It's starting to get a little dark in here. Oh, there's the switch.
I do believe it'll create glare for our booth
Yeah,
camera.
we got to leave it off for the cameras. You're right. That's why I was wondering why we haven't turned it on yet the last 2 days. I'm good. I corrected myself. And there's a called strike. Good pitch there by Roa Wall. Bo's a righty. Roa's the Wall family lefty. Max Orton 1 for 2 officially tonight at the plate. The freshman. He went sophomore, and a freshman. throwing a 10th grader, and I don't know if any of them even have their license yet, guys. They're probably a couple of sophomores are driving by May of their sophomore year.
Sure. And it's perfect to use these young bucks, chew up innings, and save Crew Christensen for tomorrow.
Yeah, and you don't know how Crew's arm fell. I mean, he was injured for a month plus out.
Yeah.
I was told they didn't think he would pitch again.
We saw him in the Super Regionals look dominant in his short stint, and yesterday looked great.
Yeah, he did 2 innings
of relief.
No-hit baseball yesterday. Yeah. 1 inning of no-hit baseball last Saturday against Uinta. You would think Crew would be in line. He did look good, but that rain delay yesterday, they had to go to the bullpen, and he was available today, but at this point, you're not going to use Crew Christensen. Breaking ball just didn't snap off there from Wall.
Wall having a little bit of difficulty locating the zone, and the Dixie hitters are not going to swing at anything that's out there.
When you're a freshman, you have to rely on that nasty sweeper, right? Like, because even if Wall's 81, 82 with the fastball as a freshman, and he's got a little zip for a 9th grader.
Excellent strikeout there, though.
Yeah, he got some chase.
There's an S&S mechanical strikeout. So he does have the wild pitch, and he does give up 1 there since coming in relief, but a nice S&S mechanical strikeout. And now Dixie is actually 3 defensive outs from shortening this game and 10 running after 5, the Thunder. We'll find out if they can do it when we come back. Thunder, they're chasing some runs here. We'll see if they got some fight left in them when we come back on the Fan Sports Network and KSLSports.com, your home for the 4A State Baseball Tournament.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank. Mountains await. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dive. Head on over to our house, the House of Jump.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Everyone loves local sports and, of course, loves ice cream. And the best ice cream on the planet is Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Open late every day of the week with dozens of delicious flavors. So after your favorite team wins, head over to Handel's to celebrate with locations in St. George, Layton, and Woods Cross.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
All right, we're back, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Boulevard Home, bringing you the radio coverage, our title sponsor of sports here on the Fan Sports Network. UCCU Credit Union, our streaming sponsor through KSLSports.com. Glad you're with us here. Thunder down by 12, so they're chasing some runs here. And Boston Vest is in to close this game. So Jake Andreas will leave, 5 runs on 8 hits. And they'll turn the ball over to Boston Vest. We'll get the defensive changes for you after the stats on Voss from the mound this year.
Yeah, Boston Vest, the senior, 4 appearances, a 0.00 ERA, and a 1-0 record.
Yeah.
So not many appearances, but stout when called upon.
Yeah, he's kind of been that closer role, him and Levitt. I mean, those guys. Levitt's pitched a lot more than Vest, but with a big cushion here, you want to get Vest some reps, and you want him to close this game out in, 15, 20 pitches if at all possible. So you could have him in the bullpen if you needed him tomorrow night. Flyers looking like they're going on to tomorrow. They don't know who they'll face. Canyon winning their first 2 games, Dixie on their way to winning their first 2 games, but we'll have to see how the early games go. But it's going to be a rematch of a game either today or yesterday. As you got the top half and the bottom half of the bracket. duking it out to see who gets in the best of 3 series starting Friday night at 7 o'clock. So you got Park City, you got Timpanogos, you got Bear River, and you've got now a strikeout. I want to catch up on the play. Good job by Vest there. I looked up and he was walking back to the dugout. That's an S&S mechanical strikeout. By the way, the final line on Jake Andreas, 4 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, all earned. Struck out 4, walked 2. But hey, got you through the meat of the order a couple times. Got you 4 innings, and now you can try to close this out and get everybody out to an early dinner. And the Flyers will eat well and sleep well tonight with a 10-6 win yesterday and leading 17-5 here. They are flexing their proverbial muscles as the number 1 seed. Snow Canyon wins 3-2, and that was Crimson on Monday, and then they win 3-0 today over Timpanogos. And a lot of people wondering, they split the head-to-head this year. Will it go chalk? Will it be Flyers-Warriors in a Region 9 showdown? After Tuesday, it's very likely because they are sitting in the catbird seat, so to speak, right, Stockton?
Catbird's cradle.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, that's what I call it.
The Cradle is the par 3 course at Pinehurst, home of the U.S. Open this summer. There's another golf drop for you, Paulie.
There you go. I guess I got my hoot with the owls at night, sing with the birds in the morning, so you get your golf ones in.
And there's a good swing here, and that one's going to go too high, though, and underneath it in center field is Trace Franco.
Now the Flyers just 1 out away.
Bo Wall flies out to center for out number 2.
Man, just 1 out away, up 17-5. Yesterday wasn't the best game for the Flyers, just a 4-run win and kind of an uneven defensive performance, but today it has been totally a Jacqueline Hyde performance. They've really looked dominant offensively and showed a few chinks in the armor pitching-wise from Jake Andreas, but otherwise a stout, solid outing.
Offense can back up any.
Yeah.
He scores 17 runs. That
you don't need much pitching.
Yeah.
So we've just about got our schedule set for tomorrow now, pending these last couple strikes here. We're going to start the day off at 11 with Timpanogos against Park City.
Yep. That'll be an elimination game. Winner will move on the evening portion. The loser will go home.
Yep. Winner of that game will play Snow Canyon at 4:30. The loser of this one will take on Bear River at 1:30. And the winner of that game will take on Dixie at 7. So Dixie could either be rematching with Desert Hills. If they do end up falling in this one, it's going to be a rematch of Desert Hills Bear River as it stands now.
And I think that's why you're probably trying to save Crew for tomorrow night. There's a good swing by Crew Christensen. Does this have enough to get out of here? Yes, it does. Crew Christensen says fly away baseball. And that gets a run on the board at 17-6. A 2-out solo shot, Cache Valley Bank home run. Bye-bye.
Crew Christensen puts a charge into that ball, and it flew and flew and flew. And I was wondering if this one was going to get out. Had a lot of carry to it, but it does find its way over the wall. And the Thunder trimmed the deficit to 11, 17-6 for our radio listeners. Still hanging in there with us.
They'll need 2 more if they want to keep this game alive.
Yep, still chasing 2. And they're going to need those innings if they're going to try to mount a miraculous comeback. Vest, we'll see how he reacts. Still just 1 pitch, 1 out away from ending this game.
Sure.
Vest rocks, fires the 0-1 pitch, just missing. And Rich Erickson throws that off of the bat of the pinch hitter, Kobe Goodman, and it ricochets over. Carter Turley's going to go get it just off the on-deck circle.
It happens sometimes. Right-handed catcher, left-handed batter. I got hit with a couple of those.
Kobe Goodman, another talented junior. Kind of a utility guy. Hasn't got a lot of work in the state tournament. We saw him a lot during the regular season. And he's getting a pinch hit here for Briggs Fillmore. Briggs, they need his glove defensively, but Goodman, the better hitter between the two. And you look at the stats. You look at Goodman this year hitting over 300 guys, and he's not even in the lineup.
Yeah.
Great take there on that 1-2. Very late drop.
Ooh, I thought that was in there.
316, the batting average for Goodman. Fillmore 263.
Vest is pitched incredibly well since coming in, thrown nothing really but strikes.
Full count pitch. Here could be the game. It's a chopper to short. Glove cleanly out there. The throw across the diamond. That'll do it. Flyers win it. That was James Lee at shortstop. I promised the defensive changes and forgot, but it was Lee that makes the throw. 6-3 the put out, and it's a ended early 17-6 win for the Flyers. How about them Dixie Flyers?
Flyers, a little Jacqueline Hyde from yesterday to today. Had that uneven effort today, but totally dominant from start to finish in this one over the Thunder, 17-5. It was a gallery of hits and a great pitching performance by Jake Andreas. Just brought it today for the Flyers and the coaching staff and players.
So now we're guaranteed to have our schedule set for tomorrow. We're going to have 2 for sure elimination games in the morning.
Yep.
Where either Desert Hills or Bear River will go home in the 1:30 game, and in the 11 a.m. it'll be either Timpanogos or Park City. That's a rematch of the second game of the tournament that ended up being a really great game. Park City tied it up 2-2 in the top of the 7th. Timpanogos walked it off in the bottom of the 7th. So that's going to be exciting. But then you'll have Dixie taking on the winner of Desert Hills Bear River rematch at 7. Right before that, Snow Canyon will take on the winner of Timpanogos Park City at 4.
Yeah, and if Dixie and Snow Canyon both win tomorrow night, then there's no games on Thursday, and the championship 3-game series will be set. If one of those 4 teams that are still alive wins 2 tomorrow, then we're playing a game on Thursday. So that's kind of how the schedule plays out. We'll talk more about that when we come back after a 60-second timeout. Our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show comes right at you on KSLSports.com and the Fan Sports Network. The Wilkinson's scoreboard, it is all Flyers. They win it by 11, 17-6.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Did you know that it costs less to maintain your equipment than to repair it? Yet 90% of breakdowns are caused by system neglect. Give your heating, cooling, and plumbing the care they deserve. For all your air conditioning and plumbing needs, turn to the experts.
Hey, it's Marco from Coral Canyon Golf Course, inviting you to play the course with the best backdrop in southern Utah. Make sure you get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit coralcanyongolfcourse.com or call us at 435-688-1700 for your tee times.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Own property and want to rent it? Then you need the right team with 11 years of local experience, a staff of over 25 employees, and a 4.9 Google rating. Aim to maximize your rental income and find quality tenants while keeping turnover low to increase your revenue and truly maintain your property. Learn more at redrockpropertymanagement.com.
Hey, we cleaned it all up for you in our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. Devin Dixon, Paul Ratliff, Stockton Jukes, Blake O'Rulen, who is down breaking down the camera so we can get out of here a little earlier night for us compared to last night where we left the ballpark at about 11:15, 11:30.
That's
Tonight
right.
we're going to get out of here about 9:18 because Dixie's bats were just bopping. I've said the word bop like 3 times today, but I don't have a better term. Flyboys were filling it. 18 hits, 17 runs, and they 10-run mercy rule the Thunder 17-6. And will we see this game again tomorrow night in a rematch? Well, the Thunder got to win first against the Bear River Bears, the team they beat 9-7 last night. So we'll talk more about that. But let's put a bow on this one here.
Yeah.
There is plenty to talk about offensively for both teams, but especially Dixie.
Yeah, Dixie, you just look at the lineup. Braxton Yates, 3 for 4. Carter Turley, 1 for 2. Logan Levitt, 2 for 3. Orton, 1 for 3. Bartholomew, 1 for 3. Almost every Flyer had a hit except Isaac Zepp. So it was a day for the Flyers that were just batting this ball around, barreling up baseballs, and having fun out there.
Yeah, Zepp did get a board and score back in the first, though, and he made a sensational over-the-shoulder diving catch.
Defensive highlight makes up for it.
Yeah, so he had his imprints on this game, so very productive, even though you're right, he didn't have a hit. The only starter not to get a hit for the Flyers, but he still was terrific tonight, to say the least. We are hanging out here in our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. Dr. Cody and his staff make your kids feel right at home. The new patient special, all one low price, just $79. The cleaning, the exam, the x-rays, 2 St. George locations. Let's get to, let's start right out of the gate with our Findlay Subaru star of the game. You can get great rates on the Forester, the Outback, as low as 2.9%. A lease on the EV Solterra for as little as $399 a month. Go check it out on the savings side of the freeway. Paulie,
I got one.
You already locked it in?
It's easy for me here today. 2 for 3, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs.
Okay.
Give me the levitator. Logan Levitt.
Levitt, I love it, the senior. It's not as easy as you make it sound, though, because you can make a case for Vest, you can make a case for Ridge.
Yep.
You can make a case for, Franco, very productive tonight. There's a lot of love to go around when you put up 17 runs.
That's right.
AWP Playmaker Play the Game. We had 4 balls leave the yard tonight, Stockton, is one of those when you think about it, it was 9 runs in the first inning. 9 runs in the first inning.
Yeah, there's a lot of offense in this one, but I've got to give the play to that crazy overhead grab, the back shoulder nearly kind of over the head play out in the outfield for, I believe it was Dixie.
It was Isaac Zepp. Yeah, Isaac Zepp.
It was Zepp. Yeah, that's the play that I've got to go with, because that was just a phenomenal grab, and there was still a lot of shadows and sun to contend with when that happened, so that's an even harder catch, and he made it look, even though it still looked incredibly hard, and he pulled it off so smooth.
He robbed Andrew Wilson. That was in the first inning with runners on first and second. So if Desert Hills scores first and he doesn't make that catch, maybe the whole complexion of this game has changed. Good call there. Our Mount Land Supply defensive play of the game. Is it the double play?
Yeah.
The 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Comebacker back to Andreas. He goes to the plate with the bases loaded. Ridge Erickson touches the plate, fires it to first, and that was huge because Desert Hills had just gotten 5 the previous inning, and then they couldn't get anything with just 1 out, and the bases were loaded. And that was kind of a momentum swinging play defensively, and that is our Mountain Land Supply featuring Bryant. They do whatever it takes. Our energy play, Scooter's Coffee energy play. I like the triple from Vest and then stretching the single to the double from Vest. These guys, the Flyers were very aggressive on the base paths, and those are energy type plays where you're risking it, maybe getting tagged out, but you're putting yourself in a position to make a better opportunity for the next guy at the plate.
Yeah, that kid was running like he drank 1,000 milligrams of caffeine this morning, and putting that kind of pressure on the defense makes them throw the ball away like they did.
Yeah.
That's how he stretched it into a double, is because he put pressure on them. They had to rush to make the throw, and they made a bad throw.
Yep, that is going to be your energy play there, brought to you by Scooter's Coffee. Stop by Utah Scooters, our sponsor, the State Street location down in Hurricane, Utah. Really excited. They're a new sponsor this year. Next time you're out there going to Zion, stop by Scooters. Amazing drinks, served amazingly fast by amazing people. Great breakfast burrito, too, by the way.
Sure.
One more award, our Jersey Mike sub of the game. I like the late K by the freshman Wall. I liked Vest coming in and closing the door. It's not a save scenario. You had some pinch runners do some nice things, but I don't think a pinch runner stole a base. They scored some runs and pushed some speed on the base pass. What do you go with our Jersey Mike sub of the game, a sub above the rest? Make sure and get it Mike's way.
I'm going to go Boston Vest, even though it was just 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned, but a strikeout and stabilized through a lot of strikes. 20 pitches, 14 strikes for Vest as he was attacking the hitters, going after him all night long.
All right, there you go. That's your Jersey Mike sub of the game. Again, you look at the tallies today, 18 runs, 17 hits, as we take a final glance at our Down East Furniture statistics for you. Ridge, 2 RBIs. Vest, 2 RBIs. Yates, 2 RBIs. Levitt, the star of the game, brought to you by Findlay Subaru. It was an easy call, 4 RBIs. Was that the determining factor?
That was kind of the clincher, yeah.
Yeah, the 4 RBIs. 3 RBIs for Max Orton, 2 RBIs for Cooper Bartholomew. And Desert Hills led offensively in this game. Wilson had a 2 RBI single. Clough had an RBI home run on a solo shot. So did Crew Christensen. Wall batted in a run as well. But just not enough firepower. But they used the young guys. You used pitchers that the most pitching innings by a varsity pitcher, the 4 pitchers they pitched today, had 8 2/3 work this year. So we'll see if that bodes well for Desert Hills going into tomorrow, Stockton, where they save maybe some of their more experienced pitchers for they hope 2 elimination games that the Thunder could potentially play tomorrow on a Wednesday here from Salt Lake Community College. That's going to do it for our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. For Paul, for Stockton, I'm Devin Dixon, for Blake O'Ruland. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, that early game. That's that Timpanogos Park City game. That'll be 11 o'clock. That'll get our day going. Desert Hills Bear River will be the afternoon matinee at 1:30, and then we'll sit back and see who Snow Canyon plays at 4:30 and Dixie plays at 7 o'clock. The 2 teams through 2 days without a loss. The 1s and 2 seeds. The Flyers, you just saw it, you just heard it. And then Snow Canyon moments before this game with that 3-0 win as well. For our entire crew, for you for watching, have a great rest of your Tuesday night. We'll be back for 4 more exciting baseball games here at Salt Lake Community College inside the 4A State Baseball Championships. And our coverage brought to you by UCCU Credit Union, Love Where You Bank, and the Boulevard Home Furnishings. Have a great night, everybody.